Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Nerds and Words. I'm your host, Tim Allen 1337, and with me today, I've got the usual suspects. Joe Never Fails.
Yo!
Moreland TV.
Hello.
And Potion Shop
Yow!
TV. Let me say the TV part.
Yow! Sorry.
We are Nerds and Words. This is a podcast where we talk about not only Black Desert Online, but what's happening in and around gaming. So let's jump right into it as we normally do every single week with our weeks, how it's gone, specifically within BDO or some IRL stuff if you care to share, all that kind of stuff. So Joe, if you want to start us off.
Oh, okay. So
Since
epic.
You're dancing.
Yes, epic. Inside and outside of gaming this week. Tier 8 pure white horse out of the Heidel Ball on my EU free-to-play account. I 4-tapped a Penheave helmet on my EU account. I also opened up a golden hedgehog on my free-to-play account this week. All epic occurrences. And I went on my first 2 Tinder dates IRL since getting back on Tinder.
Got any pics?
Epic games, both inside and outside of gaming. Feels good, dude. Feels good, dude.
Have you considered changing your little spiel about the average Joe since you have such a tough time with that word? Or that concept, rather?
Are we already
before we
getting
get any
into that?
further, go fuck yourself and let's continue.
Moreland, how was your week?
Real quick, before we go any further, when you
shit.
act like a little bitch when people fucking make fun of you later on, I want you to remember that moment that just happened, okay? Just if you can't fucking take it, don't dish it, kid. Okay.
Yeah, Tim.
Yeah, Tim. Fucking play the victim. God damn.
So this is a thing you do in podcasts. When something funny happened the week before, you bring it up in the next episode because people go, ha, 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 I remember that. The people who didn't go, wait, what does that mean? And then they go back. We could just go with it.
Okay. Hey, dude. Okay.
Fuck!
For everybody who wasn't here last week, we got into an argument about my lack of the definition of the word average. It was
what happened?
It was an epic thing, and yeah, you should have watched last week or listened to last week because it was funny.
If you guys are listening to Spotify, that's fine, but you should pick up like a YouTube version of this because we're doing this with our webcams and we have a little bit of fun with it. But anyway, just a shout out to that we actually put this on Spotify if you're interested, but we also put it on YouTube and obviously you can pull up the Twitch VODs too. Moreland, how was your week?
Pretty good. I made a bunch of Tet boss gear on accident while fail stacking, so that was free money.
The luck
I
continues.
pretty much didn't do anything else. Although outside of BDO, something interesting happened. I got contacted by my old guild master from Ultima Online from like 2003. And he's like putting the band back together. So a bunch of us made characters on an Ultima Online free server, and we're going to go mess around. So that's pretty exciting. I'm probably going to stream that.
That's actually pretty pog, dude. Holy shit.
That's the only version of UO I ever played was the free version, and the servers are wild, and the some of the economy and stuff isn't balanced. I like those free servers. That's fun.
Yeah, that's so. I've got a character on my other monitor right now practicing his majory, and we'll probably be ready for some PvP pretty soon.
How many side games do you play at once?
A lot. I don't really sleep.
Because you play BDO Mobile, you play Raid.
Yeah, but BDO Mobile and Raid mostly play themselves. That's like a few minutes here and there that I check on those and keep them going.
Maybe I was doing BDO Mobile wrong. I felt like that took up a lot of my time.
BDO Mobile's totally on my other monitor while I'm playing other stuff.
Wow. Okay. Potion Shop, what's up with you, man?
Well, my sleep cycle's been still messed up, but I am playing lots of Last Oasis. I've been enjoying that a lot. That's what been doing in my free time and streaming a little bit of it. As far as BDO, I've been sitting on the AFK training dummy and slowly leveling my way to 66. Very, very slowly.
And what's your percentage?
It's a secret. Do I want to reveal that? Yeah. Well, I think I'm 28% right now. 28% right now.
Damn, dude. Damn. That's good.
28%?
Yeah.
All from training dummy?
Yes.
You're a training dummy.
But you have to understand that I'm pre-ordering Book of Combat, and the weekend experience is 300%, and you have book a training, so that's 500% I have all weekend, right? And then I sit on channels that have bells like Arsha, so that's 600% I have almost the entire weekend. It's kind of broken because they don't know how to balance EXP properly. So
it's weird seeing the excitement in your face about the amount of EXP you get.
There's little things that get me excited in video anymore. That's just what happens to be one of them.
Literally the happiest I've seen you on this podcast.
I mean, I'm the highest level sorceress, and I like that, you know.
What do you get for 66?
Nothing. There's absolutely nothing, and there's nothing for 65 either.
It's just prestige, yeah.
Yep,
they said something about that, didn't they? They said that they were thinking about.
Yeah, they said they wanted to add some type of rewards. Probably going to give me a pink Kaposha, like I need that.
I don't know. Maybe they'll give you a title or something. They mentioned that they were going to try to do something, but who knows how that'll turn out.
Yeah, if they give me a good title, I'd be happy about that.
So my week was pretty boring. I had some IRL stuff that I'm not really talking about that I had to take care of. So I blew off Joe. I'm blaming it on IRL, but basically I was just getting back at him for blowing me off on Monday.
Like a little girl out of spite. Yeah.
Well, I don't think we have to bring gender into this, but okay.
What did I say, guys? What did I say? I told you it was coming. Okay, go ahead.
But in game, I've been. I took the Guardian to Star's End just to see what happens, and I popped a loot scroll and got 3 distos in an hour. So that was pretty cool because I was working hard at Histria. I was popping a lot of scrolls and J scrolls and shit like that, and I wasn't really getting paid. I blew up my Tet Dandy for my Guardian. And I forgot to extract the cron, so most of the money I made on my last stream from grinding Histria went right back into getting it to Kaffir's level 1. But I've recovered from that, and I'm getting closer to 289. I'm probably about 2,000 Kaffirs away from 289 AP. So just working towards that. And I just moved, I don't know, I guess it's been almost 2 months now. And so I did some stuff with my son's room to make it a little more homey, and just took some time for IRL and trying to settle into my new house. So that was my week. It was pretty good. It flew by.
Yeah. Dude, inside with this damn rain. It's been raining every day for 2 weeks. Yeah. It's terrible, man.
We've got
how's the weather been where you guys are?
Yeah, we've got this tropical storm off the Gulf. Joe and I are in Florida, so it's just been gnarly.
It's thick.
It's been pretty nice out here.
Half a mile of thick clouds across the entire sky for 2 weeks, and it's nonstop rain.
So 4 episodes, and we're reduced to talking about weather. Are we done here?
I don't know whether or not that's a bad thing.
Oh no.
All right, here we go. Let's dive in. This is the notes.
Yep. So the patch notes.
All right, take it over, Bucky.
So for the patch notes, we have pretty straightforward. There's 3 major things that I thought from the patch notes. One of those was just a second, I'm dying here.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Aggress Fever.
Oh yeah, they added that super fast.
They added the switch.
We all I was re-listening to our last podcast yesterday or the day before, and we're all like, months. It's gonna take months.
No, I specifically argued against you guys. I told you guys they'd have it out. And I was
said a couple weeks. You said a couple weeks, right? So you were they were just Johnny on the spot.
What we got to go back and remember and listen to that. I don't remember what was said at all.
You said
I remember
2 weeks, and it was literally
2 months.
the next patch. It was very, very fast.
2 weeks is exactly correct though, because it was 1 week for it. The week after was that week, so 2 weeks is on the money.
All right, Moreland wins the prize. Jesus. Yeah, so that's great. It's I haven't turned my Aggress Fever on in 3 or 4 days, and I don't know why I'm saving it, but it feels like it's going to be a lot of fun to save it up to the max or something close to max. So I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. When I was leveling my Guardian at Polly's Forest, I would burn, and then when the Wacky Tashi thing was going on, I'd burn it on just bullshit that I didn't want to. So I'm pretty hyped for that. That's an excellent quality of life change that came out quickly, which is they're setting a high bar for themselves.
One quick note is I think that this is a great change. Definitely better off without it. I just want to make sure that when they add it in on release, then I'll give them like the full hell yeah claps around, just because like that is something that could have very easily been added in when it came into the game. I'd like to see that type of forward thought when things come out, as opposed to like, wow, man, this would be so much easier if it was just on and off, and then 2 weeks to get it in the game. It's great that it took it was as fast as it was, but I want to see it on release. That's what I want to see.
So I think you might be a little too hard on them with that, in my opinion, where I think you can release some content and go, oh shit, we should have done that. But I think the better feedback was the feedback loop and how long it took for them to actually do it, right? It was extremely obvious after 2 days worth of feedback or 1 day of feedback that they should have done something. And then it just took months.
Did you notice how when it's Jae-hee Kim who's directly saying like to do something, I feel like it gets done super quickly. So I don't know. I just wonder how many layers like our feedback has to actually get through before it gets to someone with decision-making power. Like I wonder exactly how that works in terms of them reading the forums or reading tickets or whatever it is. It's probably 7 layers removed before it actually gets to someone who can make it happen. But this time around at the Heidel Ball, you have the lead dev who sees it directly, and then it just gets done within a week. So that's kind of interesting.
Let's get him in the partner Discord.
Yikes. I still think, dude, like great change, great feedback, but is it that much to say, hey man, this on off button should have been in the original version of it?
Yeah,
is it too much to say?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, people said they wanted the button and they added it pretty quick. I'm not too upset about that. I think there's other things there's other things I'm way more annoyed at.
I hear you.
The fact that they took a week or two to add that,
Next topic, Potion.
So 1,060 cronstones. Why do you guys use them on? Or why are you planning on using them on?
I'm saving mine for the upcoming Odalita expansion, which is going to be released this year.
Later on. I'm saving mine for Pen Blackstar NA and Pen Heave EU. I 4 clicks EU, so I got like 900 left over.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to use mine on a Ted Blackstar for the new class when it comes out. That's probably what I'm going to use mine on.
You're going to cron Tet Blackstar?
Yeah, I'll probably use 2 attempts on cronning it. And after that, I'll just go. Yeah, I think that's fair.
You don't want to cron try and then clap Tet raw?
I would cron try. I would never cron Tet.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, but that's why I want to use it on.
It's definitely the way.
I'm not good at math, but if Moreland's saying it, I agree.
Yeah, definitely don't cron Tet. You can cron try, though, if you want to save mats.
I think you should do whatever you want, Potion Shop. Think for yourself and have fun, man.
Yeah, I just think that the fail stack that I have to generate, I don't have a fail stacking system set up. So for me, using fail stacks, needing more fail stacks, right, is like really, really hard. So like getting a whole bunch of try fail stacks will be difficult and will cost me more in the long run, I think.
You don't have like some 50 stacks sitting in your Black Spirit safe that you could use?
I have a few of those, yeah, but I once those are out, I'd be a little concerned.
Those dragon scales are like 150, 170 mil for 40 stack. It's not bad. Quick, easy.
I used mine in a fury of high speed driving across Los Angeles County, collecting up as many drugs as possible, blowing up my Tet Dandy for my Guardian. Made some bad decisions the whole night, and like I said before, forgot to take the Kafirs out. So, and then did a raw tap. So, that wasn't great. That wasn't something I enjoyed.
And
hey, man, just do whatever you like, whatever makes you happy, right?
Well, I mean, sometimes you have good luck and bad luck, right? And the last thing I think is interesting is you get a new character slot for the season, and that's 20th character slot. So that kind of brings us into the major topic for the day, which is seasons and the guide for seasons and all that stuff. So let's talk about the 20th character slot. What class are you guys going to make for seasons?
Just real quick on the cron thing. Joe, what was the stack you were hitting Pin Blackstar on?
188.
Ooh, okay. Did you get a little buzz when you clicked it, or did you feel nothing?
I just don't want to lose the 188 stack. Is there a math follow up with this? Is this going somewhere funny?
No, I was just asking what it was like to click for Pin Blackstar, dude. I haven't done it yet.
Click it 10 times, dude. Click it 10 times.
Did you feel something or not?
Well, I usually activate and I fucking clench every muscle in my body and I scream at my computer just in the hopes that I could have some type of control over the outcome, but it fails every time. So it feels like BDO, like failure, you know?
I know what that feels like.
I know.
I'm having a lot of fun on today's podcast.
Yeah, it's great.
Tim, you've been unfairly picked on. As someone who gets picked on regularly, I feel like this is probably too much, you know? And really need to stop bullying, all right? It got to start here, and it's got to stop it. We got to take one step at a time.
Hey,
and,
shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. Well, you know,
this is why we pick on Tim.
Would you like to have a? I take it back what I said. I take it back everything. Joe, continue where you were. Sorry.
This is exactly why we do this. This is why we do this. Because Tim picks on us, we pick on him. He cries about it, and then we say, "Hey, it's tough. That's the works, dude. That's what it is."
I don't cry on stream, Joe.
Yeah, I get it. I got to read it in DMs. Fucking text IRL. I can't even share that shit.
Can we get on with the fucking podcast? Jesus Christ.
Seasons, I feel like this is going to turn into a group therapy session pretty soon. You guys got some things you need to get out there or what?
Who's as hyped for Seasons as I am?
I personally probably won't play it that much, honestly. I don't think it's a benefit towards like more of like a hardcore type in-game build, right? I think it's going to be good for people who just want to have fun, right? And so I might make a character and go pick on people at Sawson's, and then that might be the end of it, probably, you know?
Okay.
Because I can get to 61 faster than anyone else, right? I'm going to play a lawn because I can kick everybody's ass on a lawn without them playing. Like, I don't have to try. I just grapple, kill somebody, done.
Yeah.
So that's my plan. What classes are you guys picking? I heard Moreland, were you still considering Valkyrie?
Yeah, I'm probably going to play a Valkyrie. They said that the Arsha channel is going to be out within the first month of Seasons, so... it makes a big difference if it's 1 week in or 4 weeks in, but either way, the fact they said it's within the first month is promising, assuming that they actually stick to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it's not going to be on launch. At launch, we're going to have to play PvE servers and then deck on guilds and hope that they can be decked on.
So whoever pays to win the most is going to kill everybody in PvP then, you know, after the first month, if it goes to Arsha.
Are we going to be in the same
Wait, what does pay to win have to do with it?
Well, I mean,
yeah, you're in the same guild. It's just like another channel.
I would assume you can still use crons and everything like that and artist memories to repair faster, right?
Yeah.
And
it's like a whole new system of items. You're not going to be cronning your Tuvala gear.
Wait, I don't think cron, but artisan memories, yeah?
Maybe. I don't think it's going to be that hard to upgrade your gear.
It's not. I heard a 60 stack was like a 20% chance at Pen Tuvala.
I mean, we'll see, but I think the bottleneck is going to be getting the actual like ores and stuff to upgrade your gear. I don't necessarily know if repairing is going to be the bottleneck.
So shit, what was I going to say? You guys talked right.
What class are you playing, Tim? What class are you playing, bud?
I'm thinking Guardian, right? Like,
okay, that's a terrible idea, but you do what makes you happy, man.
Why is it a terrible idea?
You're gonna get bullied open world.
You're gonna get bullied.
Grinder, but
PvE.
Not a good 1v1.
Yeah.
So if we carry the same guild and we carry the same decks, we already have on average 15 decks or something like that. So if we're gonna get quite a bit of PvP, are you gonna giggle every time I use the word average? Can you handle this?
It has nothing to do with it. You're thinking about it more than I am.
Well, I have a question.
I'm laughing at Aftershock getting decked on. That's what I'm laughing at. It's nothing to do with math.
Okay. 15's the number.
We do have a lot of decks.
Yeah, dude.
Way above average number of decks.
Yeah. We're going to get a lot of action.
So I need to play something more open world friendly. I don't know. All I've ever really
played. You need to be thinking 1v1 open world friendly, dude.
Is like Warrior or something. I don't know. Guardian is just shift.
Warrior.
Yeah, Warrior's not a bad choice at all.
I've been wanting to come back to Warrior for a long time.
Can we do like a quick rundown of everything that we know about Seasons so people who are listening who don't know about Seasons can get like a little bit of an understanding of what's going on and why this is important and why we're talking about open world when we won like really good classes?
Please.
So I did a very short rundown, and there's a lot of good guides. Like Blue made a guide. There's also a lot of information on the forums about it. But like technically, as of right now, I did these bullet points, and there's no math in here. So just like add if there's anything that I've missed. Okay. This long story short is that Seasons is a new piece of content that's coming into Black Desert Online in North America and EU. It's live in KR right now, but it is a 90-day fresh start opportunity for new players and veterans alike to create a brand new character. You cannot bring your current gear into the seasons. You have to upgrade to Vala. There are certain pieces of quest gear that you can use, but I'm not certain about whether or not you have to redo those quests to wear it or whether you can do the quests and bring them in. There's one PvP server, so it's no PvP, all PvE only until the PvP server goes live. The rewards include a 40-day quest that will give you a Pen Kaposha ring or a Pen Kaposha earring, a 100 stack, and one piece of convert. It gives you a ticket to convert one piece of Pen to Vala gear, which is the equivalent of basically like a Tet boss armor or weapon. And you can keep all of your Tuvala gear that you upgrade, but you can no longer enhance it after the season is over. So basically for new players, it is a fresh start experience that is completely different from playing BDO currently. A lot of people who've been like on the edge of whether or not they want to get into BDO, this is, I think, a great time for people to dive in. And the rewards are insane. They're actually insane for new players. Like there's the Oasis gear and the Suppress gear that we've seen right now for the leg up is amazing. But like being able to take your Tuvala gear back to the real game is like free soft cap plus all the money they were making on the servers up till then. So I think this is a wild thing.
Now, I'm curious, are they going to allow you to flag up and kill people on the regular servers, or is there not going to be any PvP?
No.
Only guild PvP.
So
Must be consensual.
The first month is, it has to be consensual, so it has to be, so GVGs are a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do guild
yeah.
decks.
Okay, that's going to be interesting.
But if you're in a guild that can't be decked, then you're just, griefing.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of that. People fighting over PvE mobs.
It's
like
only
Arcade.
a handful of channels. I bet a bunch of people are going to be packed on there. So yeah, there's going to be a bunch of griefing until the Yarsha channel comes out.
Mm-hmm. So my biggest question right now is whether or not we are going to be able to use our Kaposha and immediately swap that to our season character, and whether or not we're going to be able to use the Forest Eye earrings, upgraded versions, try Asulas on day one.
Or the Abyssal weapons too, right?
Correct. The brand new Abyssal weapons that just came out this week, the ultimate of the Greater Catan, and the Red Sands. Because if that is the case, you can start on day one with like 200 AP, 200 DP immediately. And that will jump you to a place where you can bypass like the majority of those players on those PvE servers. If that is the case, I honestly don't see why not, because it's been confirmed that you can use Asula and any quest items. And you can also use the, Merchant Medea Union's helmet, the Roaring Magical chest armor, the Derek's light leather boots, and
I knew I kept that stuff for a reason.
Exactly, dude. The Bia's magical gloves, bro. And all of that's part of the Medea questline, Valencia questline, Kama questline, Draken questline that players should be doing anyway. So it's either
that's really interesting if you can just drop that stuff on day one. I bet you can, because they probably haven't gone through and really tweaked everything that needs to be fine-tuned, since this is kind of the first time they're doing it. I wonder if they learned any of those lessons from KR and are going to be changing it on our version.
No, definitely not.
I don't think so.
Does anyone in chat know? Can you just dump your Abyssal weapon into your season character on day one?
I would not be surprised.
All I know is I'm just starting with prep tomorrow. Like, I'm going to get all of this shit done and have a build for it. So whether or not you can get it on day one, it'll still be that meta build for the beginning of the game, because you'll be faster gear score than getting Tuvala, pardon me. In my opinion, I think it'll get you a leg up.
I'm a little disappointed, quite frankly.
About what?
That you can do that.
I don't really like that. That's the possibility. So we need to talk to someone who played it on KR. Maybe Blue will know. We need to ask him if you can actually do that. I agree though. I don't think it should be that way. But if it is that way, I'm going to take advantage of it.
Exactly.
I mean,
Agreed. You have to. I think that it should be even for everybody and have everybody run through. But if it's not that way, you can't avoid doing it. Like you have. I have all of it already, except for the upgraded accessories and the new abyssal stuff. So I'm not going to not use it if it's usable.
Yeah, so a lot of people are asking questions in chat. You can access your pets, your storage, everything is. It's like playing a character on a different channel.
Yeah.
The only thing you can't do is you can't equip your non-season gear. So that's why we're talking about like abyssal weapons. Because if you just grab your abyssal weapons or your Azula accessories, then you're way ahead in the first 5 minutes.
The only reason why I also don't think it's that big of a deal is it's 90 days to get soft cap gear with an upgraded version of the enhancement rate. So it's just the rate at which you get to soft cap, and because you're stuck at soft cap for 90 days. Like there are people that are going to get full pen Tuvala, like that are playing actively. You're going to get there. It's just the amount of time that it takes to get there. So I don't see it being that crazy. I think that tier 4 pets, tent, all those pay to win things are way more of an advantage than just that little bit of a clip, because it's whether it takes you 2 days to get, like, how long is it going to take you to go through the full quest and get your free accessories or whatever it is, or upgrade your Tuvala? 2-3 days if you're playing actively.
Well, that's really interesting. Like, I wonder how much of the gear they went through that you can't equip, right? Does it mean you can't equip? Can you equip a Kaposha?
That was the biggest question, is whether you can use Kaposha or not, because
I have all of it, right?
I know, dude.
Like Oasis.
Does that change your mind? Does that change you can't use Oasis gear?
Okay.
I am also imagining that suppressed gear and Oasis gear are both going to get taken out of the game on the 24th, and that's when I think that Seasons is going to come into the game, because the suppressed quest line is the 24th. I think that's when we're going to see. Yeah, I think that's when we're going to see Seasons.
Yeah, because they probably didn't want people to abuse that right on day one.
Yep.
I don't think I want to do this. That the fact that you can get all that free gear right off the bat and all that kind of stuff really turns me off.
Dude, it's not for veteran players. Like, Seasons is not ideal for veteran players at all. Like,
I think
the only thing I would do is
running Kafras and silver.
It's just for a new player, and for the people that are interested in this game that want to dive in. Dude, Oasis and Suppressed has been such a huge, like, lowering the gate of entry of BDO, like such a better experience for tons of people. This is even better than that. And dude, in my opinion, giving players soft cap, go ahead, fucking take soft cap, take it, dive in, get into BDO and make that decision at soft cap. That's essentially what this is. This is a whole brand new experience for newer players. But outside of Penka Potion and the 100 stack, there's no reason for vets to get into it. I think it's going to be fun. Like, Moreland knows this shit. Like, from watching you guys playing Xbox and PS4 live, I learned from not experiencing that I want to feel that fresh start feeling of BDO again. And the only time I'm going to get it is Season. So I learned from your guys' fun for this. That's why I can't afford to miss it here.
Yeah, they're really dropping the ball and not allowing us to PvP on day one, or at least not even having a PvP server. It's just it's insane to me.
100%.
And then furthermore, just being able to level 1 drop in this stuff from other quest lines is total bullshit. Because remember the first opening hours, Moreland, of when we were on Xbox, we went to Heidel to get some weapon. I don't even fucking remember. That was like 17,000 silver.
Like the Ornella weapon.
And we went and got an elite. We all made sure we looted the silver from the elite so we'd have enough silver to go get the Ornella weapon. And that put us ahead, because everybody else was using +2 nothing as well.
If you can bring in, I mean, we need to confirm it one way or another before we get too upset. But if you can bring in abyssal weapons that you already have, I agree. That's super lame. Like, the fresh start experience should be a fresh start. You should have to do that initial gear rush and build up and race other players.
Yeah,
I still think it's gonna be, everyone's gonna get it within the first week anyway. Honestly, I think in the same way that you guys had the knowledge, like, not to argue the point, because I agree with the point, but if you had the knowledge of thinking about it beforehand, and like anybody could do it, like log in and get it right now, like prep your stuff for Seasons. Like,
so why are you doing it, Potion?
Seasons? Oh no, I don't plan on doing Seasons. I mean, if there's
I thought you said you were going to play a lawn.
I mean, I'll probably jump in and get a 61 lawn just to show like new players how they can get 61 in like a day, right? And then I'll make that into like a YouTube video, like, hey, look, season server 61 in one day, you know, and then that'll be a nice little YouTube video.
You just stuff it full of ads.
Every 1 minute you watch, you get another ad.
There's a lot of pros for the newer players, but for vets, it's really, I don't see it being like super ideal. There's actually some cons for new players too, because if you think about if you played the season server or the real server and both ended up at the exact same spot, whether it was with full Tuvala, suppressed Tuvala, or actual gear that you can sell, there's a big difference between the value of your gear at the end of 3 months, because you could sell it and you could turn it into anything. You turn it into life skilling gear, right?
That's why getting a second Kaposha like earring is very, very questionable, because you can't sell it back, right? It's like you lose all that value put into it. And it just becomes boss ult gear, you know?
I'm going to have to see where this comes out where I am before I make a decision. It would be fun to style in some kids with Warrior, especially now that Warrior is so easy. Holy shit. Succession's going to be out with this too, right? It's going to be all the normal stuff. Yeah.
Yep. That's,
I don't know, man.
I think those are the biggest benefits. Is if you're considering playing a new class, it could be really fun to play that new class in an environment where, like, how many people you've played games with before, or like homies from other communities, were like, yo, I don't want everyone to play BDO. I think it's too grindy. I think it's too crazy. Like, if you could hit them up and be like, yo, dude, if you wanted to play BDO right now, this is what I would suggest. Check out Seasons, because we're all going to start at the same spot. You can play your class. I can play the class that I've never played before. Like, that particular experience that BDO is offering is very unique. That's not a thing that's like, it's not a thing that's happened often, you know? So I think that when you're talking about exposing BDO to a much larger scale of, you know, the MMO world, now is the perfect time to just invite friends and say, check it out. Just check it out, because it's like, if you missed the 3-year anniversary, if you missed Shadow Arena, if you missed the 4-year anniversary, like those were, you know, dozens of hours that the game just gave you for free for playing at the right time. Like that, this is that same right time. And I really do think that the impact that Seasons can have will be bigger for newer players, but that's really fucking important for the future of the game. You know, like, it's really important for the future of the game. I
asked like the motivation behind it, because if you look at like Path Exile, the motivation is you get new content, right? And then if you look at Diablo 3, it's resetting the leaderboards, right? And so in this game, I think for Seasons, the main benefit is enticing players who would not play BDO because they want a fresh start to play BDO, right? I think the problem is that only works once, and then every subsequent season will just not have any interest unless there's something special about it, right? Because, like, you know, this first season, maybe you get 10,000 players who are, you know, 100,000 players who are interested in restarting, right? They're like, oh man, I've been looking for this, but then maybe next time, you only get like 20,000, because the first time, 100,000, they're like, oh, I've already done that. It's the same thing all over again, right? So there has to be something to entice people. I mean, I think a season restart like this is good occasionally, but there's got to be something else to entice people for a longer term commitment, you know? So I think it's definitely really good, but I think it's just over time they'll lose its luster.
I think they're going to be adding in a different Pen Kaposha every time, and that's the hook right there. You can get a full set of Pen Kaposha accessories out of it. I agree with you. I think that if they offer it too frequently, it'll lose the luster. But at the same time, like, think about the content creation that's going to come out of Seasons. Think about the people that have never played BDO before, that come from other MMO communities that could play now, and then their communities that missed it, then saying, yo, I missed the first one, I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to do the next one. There's always going to be that. BDO does a great job of marketing to new players all year round. Like, they advertise on YouTube, they advertise Facebook, they you know what I mean? Like, they do great advertising all over the place. Twitch. There's always new players that are coming in. When that Seasons situation gets offered, I think that it's a no-brainer to not get involved in it for new players.
Yeah, they do a good job with their marketing for sure. What do you think about the character pre-creation rewards? I think they're pretty good. You get some inventory space. You get you get some pretty good stuff from it.
I think this goes back to a point that Joe made after he came back from Korea, where they're opening up the pay to win of the game, you know, and they're making it more accessible. in general. And we saw that with the New Year's as well. They're like, we're going to give you $1,000 worth of Pearl items and, the RNG boxes and a lot of the stuff that we're seeing. I re-listened to last week's episode, realized, I was complaining, BDO, we're so close. And what if we just got this from mobile and brought it into PC? Well, they did it with the fucking Pearl shop, but outside of that, again, just back to your point, they're really opening up this game so it's more accessible to enjoy it at its fullest potential, regardless of how deep your wallet is.
I agree 100%.
Well, it was your statement, so
obviously I can go on and on about this, dude, because I know that when you get to a point in competition, you've played for a long time, like my concerns and my cares and worries about the game are very different than the average player and the new player and the non-player. But when you take a look at the systematic attack of every place that was a barrier for continued play and a barrier for entry for new players in comparison to other MMOs, you can clearly see central market, removal of weight, stacking of items, CC changes, it goes on and on. Capotia, Agris, Dark Rifts, they are making the game easier for people to enjoy and to play consistently over a long period of time. Fixing the story mode, streamlining, all that type of stuff. They are attacking stuff that players would normally quit.
So here's an interesting point that I'd like to bring up if I could. I'm sorry, did I cut you off?
Yeah, but go ahead, dude. It doesn't matter. Yeah, go.
No, I apologize.
Just reiterating the point. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that it's tough. It's tough to. That is the business of BDO. The reason why this company is a $500 million a year profit company is because they spend money on the things that get people enjoying their game. When people are enjoying the game, they spend money in the cash shop. That is literally what they do. And that's the reason why they make money. They need people to enjoy the game. If there's things that are making people unhappy, they look at how many people are unhappy, how much money is it going to cost to address this? Let's make the best, most efficient financial decisions. The reason why I don't think we've seen the large-scale siege changes and the PvP changes as readily over the course of the last 3 years is because it's such a small percentage of the player base that is affected by it. They don't understand the cultural impact and the player base impact of making the siege scene more inviting and enjoyable for people to get into because they play the game harder, which means they have to or would be encouraged to spend more money. But we've seen them address the changes. So if this does create an environment where new players play and they are spending money, I just think that it is inevitable. It is a matter of time before we do get the address of the things that are major concerns for even the smaller percentages of players like Siege, like PvP, gear score balancing or the disparity between AP, DP, the highest level players and the medium level players. I just think it's a matter of time. That has to happen for that stuff to happen down the road, though, because without players playing and without people spending money, there's no business.
True.
So have you guys seen how they're monetizing the season server?
No, I don't know.
It's already begun.
They're selling a battle pass. So you're going to have your daily login rewards, and then you're going to have your premium daily rewards that you get from the battle pass, just like how mobile games monetize. Basically, it's the exact same thing. You've got the free rewards, you've got the premium rewards. They haven't said how much it's going to cost. I'm guessing they're probably going to charge I don't know, what do you guys think, $30 or $40 for the season, or do you think they're going to get greedy with it?
They're almost always $10. If they're calling it a battle pass, that probably means they're going with that mentality, and it's always $10.
I think it'll be
I don't think they'll do 10, right? Like this company.
I think Value Pack, Book of Old Moon, it's got to be that price for however length. They might sell it for the full thing.
It can't be more than 15.
I wouldn't pay for it if it was over $15, honestly, unless it was $20
for the whole season or per month.
A month. Yeah.
No, it has to.
Yeah,
battle pass is for the season.
I'm thinking $30-$40 for the season.
That's reasonable to me.
Not per month. Yeah.
I'll bet you a battle pass that it's no more than $15 for the whole thing.
You think it's going to be $15 for the season?
No more than $15 for the season.
I'll take you up on that. I'll bet you, dude.
All right.
I think it's
so
actually
this is interesting, though, because if this is successful, if they can actually just sell a battle pass to people on a fresh season, then maybe that could in the future turn into like a BDO Unleashed sort of situation where we could actually get a non-pay-to-win server. You know what I mean?
Hey, dude, I agree. I 100% agree with that. That's brilliant, dude. That's fucking brilliant, bro. How many people bought the damn the character slot expansion? Pardon me. they're already monetizing it. They offered another slot. You want to buy it? Here's $6. Give us $6 for the new character slot.
I don't know how to count, so I've had an extra one sitting around for a couple of months.
So they're getting $6 from everybody who's max character slots already, unless they plan on deleting something else, losing the quests, anything else they've already made.
Right.
So to go back to the point we were talking about just a little bit before that was ease of bringing in new players, right? And that kind of comes into the seasons. And so we've all made, except for Joe, YouTube videos the three of us have made YouTube videos for guides to get people in here. To funnel people into our Twitch and our businesses and stuff like that. And I think, I was wide-eyed when I came into it with Xbox, and it was extremely successful. But then, that was like, it takes a couple days to make a guide, whatever, do it right. You don't have to make it too flashy. It's a guide. And then it's like, well, this game is completely changed in every way, shape, and form, including the quests and the rewards that you get and the path that you have to take within 7 months of me putting that video out. And I'm like, oh, not a fucking chance am I doing that again. No way. So do you think all these things, would it be easier if they just had a more streamlined entry to this game? Or do you think, and maybe those items just scale and the quests stay the same? Or do you think all these changes that they constantly make, which makes it harder for content creators to really help put out those YouTube guides that people flock to when they come, especially into a game this complicated, do you think they're actually helping the game and the new players, or they're hindering themselves?
I think the game has gotten way, way too bloated and complicated. And instead of just revamping systems that they already had and making them better, they continually add new systems and ignore old systems, things like NPC trading or fishing. And there's so many parts of the game that just get left behind when new systems get added. I think that it would be much better if they just continued to update the systems that they already had, or made it so that those things scale. Because the only thing that they've really scaled over time is gathering, cooking, and grinding. They just seem to ignore other parts of the game, and sometimes something will be good, and then sometimes it'll be completely forgotten for 2 years. And it gets to the point where, like you said, any video that you make about what's good in BDO or what's worth doing, none of that's going to last more than 6 months ever. At any point in this game, has one of those videos been up to date for more than a 6 month period? They're constantly doing something that just completely knocks it into irrelevance.
And then there's some, the Black Abyssal weapon is super important, and that is one of the most. It's the hardest thing to find as a virgin player, to know that exists and to be able to stumble upon it and then actually complete the quest as a brand new player without Oasis gear and stuff. And so it's weird that there's these things that are like staples that you really want to be able to communicate to new players that you should get to and be able to get to, but then they convolute everything. So then by the time, if you make a video or there is a guide, even if it was like an official guide, right? In 6 months, it's completely convoluted. By the time you got to that information, somebody goes, well, this isn't up to date at all. And they probably will just miss the very few things that stay consistent.
I think that's really a content creator problem, though. That's not a game problem, right? That's not
Well, no, I'm arguing it's kind of both. I'm arguing that it might be both.
Oh, I'm arguing it.
I think it's a
content creator's problem, right? I look at PoE. Every 3 months, it's a completely different game. All old videos are completely not relevant anymore. Whose problem is that? Is that PoE's problem? No, they're making tons of money. Their game's super popular. That's the content creator's problem. If the game is really, really good, right, for the gamer, right, the gamer enjoys it, then the content creator will just have to keep up with the content. And then maybe you can carve out a niche. I always make videos on Sorceress or update. Maybe I always make videos on Node Wars or update. And so you carve out a market. If there's too much to do everything, right, then you carve out a market for yourself inside the game.
I think the difference between making content for BDO and making content for Path of Exile is that when you make content for Path of Exile, you know that you're making content for a 4-month period, and there's an expectation that some of that content is going to stick around and some of it's going to change, and everyone kind of knows what content falls within those boundaries. In BDO, there's no topic that I could make a video on that I feel like it's safe even a few weeks from now from being
Trading.
Just suddenly changed.
So that's the point I'm trying to make, is I'm
Yeah,
not trying to
okay.
go,
I-
hey, we're
I-
a bunch
I
of
hear that.
content
Yeah.
creators, you know, being together. It's like when you go to play a new game as a gamer, what's the first thing you do? You go to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to take the content creation thing out and just go, wait, is this old? This is 2 years ago. Wait, nobody's done a video in 6 months and the game's completely different. So the point I was trying to make is, does that work for them or against them with the game that you brought up, which I think is a great point, is so bloated, right? How do you tell somebody what's worth it and what's not, unless you literally fucking hold their hands?
I also think Path of Exile is probably one of the worst games ever made in terms of intuition. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game, but in terms of just being able to play the game and understand it through gameplay without having to rely on external sources, it's probably the worst game ever made. And I don't think that's something we should be emulating. Players should be able to play the game and learn the game for the most part through playing it. And then maybe if they really want to min-max or get advanced strategies, they can go to YouTube. But if you have to go to YouTube to even get started, that's a problem.
That's my point. Thank you.
So I think it's a two-edged sword, because the game is infinite, and no matter what you look at, the game's moving forward and going some way, some direction in the future. That's job security in one hand, because the second that things change, we have to talk to people. That helps me as a Twitch content creator, that creates an environment for someone to say, if you want to learn about this game, come hang out and listen to music with us. That's, as we do it, that's a huge pro for me. It is a very difficult thing for someone who is sitting on the outside and doesn't understand and is looking for that exact type of experience, because they've been conditioned by, Wowhead, they've been conditioned by ESO, they've been conditioned by, following that PoE guide, which is,
right, like
it's my biggest turnoff, dude. I don't want to have to go to a guide and play homework. I don't want to have to do homework when I'm playing a video game. I want to be able to use my brain and say, oh, this makes sense.
I don't play PoE anymore, because it's so much homework every season to get started.
Oh my god.
So
I have so much respect for respect for content creators that want to do that and do it, but it's not the way I want to naturally play a game. Like I want to learn through it, the play. I don't want to. I hear it. I feel it 100%.
So WoW has been out for 16 years, right? And they have changed the starting process through Cataclysm. Was the expansion where they changed the starting process, right? Up until that point, the way you started with that game was exactly the same, right? The new accounts were exactly the same, years and years and years and years. And then Cataclysm came out, and then it's the same starting process from there for years and years and years, until they got to like Death Knight or something, where you could choose to skip it if you wanted to. And I think that's a really important part for any sort of game. We use this term a lot here, lowest common denominator. You need to tug the Pepegas along to give them a chance in a game.
Well, so, I think one of the most unique things about Black Desert Online is that exact thing, though. I think it is part of the lifeblood of the reason why this is the top 5 most viewed MMOs in Twitch, and it has been for years. And it's because people that are seriously interested about learning about the game, they have to find a live community on either Discord, Guild, in-game, or on a Twitch. That's it. And through those communities, they find good YouTube resources, word of mouth, and live communities. Whether or not a guide is good at the time that it was made is what it is. I think that's something that's going to happen in all games. I'd love for one guide to be it, and you could make content for years. That'd be great, but I just think that if it was so dramatically changed and you could count on it more so, we wouldn't see anyone being anywhere near as excited about reading the patch notes, about being in a guild, about talking to people about the game, about going to BDO database, getting into BDO planner. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like those are all parts.
I don't want to conflate this with content creation, right? I'm looking at this because the point was brought up that this is an excellent way to get people into BDO, and I just thought it was an interesting point when you compare it to other games that are successful and the bloat and all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm not trying to beat a dead horse or get into a rabbit hole here. I just thought it was an interesting point to bring up and discuss for a few minutes.
Yeah, one of the things Seasons does, or one of the things it's attempting to do, is streamline the new player process to where you go in, you do this series of quests, you get all these rewards, you enhance your gear rapidly. And in theory, like you're cutting a lot of the bloat, or you're skipping a lot of that and kind of getting to like a more advanced state of the game in a more streamlined direct process. I think that's what they're going for. How that actually plays out, we'll see in terms of the Tuvala gear and the enhancing rates, and we'll see if some of the typical BDO frustrations are still there, or where some of those quest rewards turn out. But I think that is the goal, is to sort of like get people on the rails on this very simplistic path to their first month or two in the game, so that they can get caught up.
I think a lot of it's conditioning too. Honestly, I think a lot of it's psychological conditioning for the rest of the game that they can experience. Like, you're getting into the habit of enhancing, you're getting into the habit of doing dailies over a 90-day period. Like, you're getting prepared for either liking or honestly pretty much programmed into playing BDO. And if you're having fun while you're doing it, positive reinforcement, like, it is really psychologically savvy, dude. Like, they're really doing a good job of making sure people are enjoying the first 90 days of BDO in this new experience.
Do you like the fact that it's all grinding though? Like, do you think people should be able to gather for Tuvala?
Dude, my biggest feedback to my homies that make a difference in this fucking community are, you dropped the ball. Like, I cannot believe that you did not think about allowing people to fight each other. This game is about PvP. It's about fighting. Yeah. So how can you take that away, dude? How can you take it away? That's such an oversight, man.
Yeah.
It's such an oversight.
Well, I just mean like the other aspects, even besides PvP, there's so many other aspects of the game, whether that's, gathering or fishing, or like the Seasons doesn't have any incentives for any of that stuff, right? Like, you're not going to cook as a season character. There's no real point for you to do that.
You can't stop me. You can't stop me.
I guess you could go for a cooking icon on a season server and have that over your head for a couple months.
What's preventing people from doing life skills? And isn't there the rent? Can't you rent life skill gear, like rent that CP stuff?
I'm not saying anything's preventing it. I just don't think there's any season incentive for doing it.
You're saying there's no relevant boost for the life skilling stuff. Like, there's no
what are you going to use
Tuvala gathering gear.
What are you going to use silver for in a season? Do you still have to buy memory fragments to repair your gear? Like, it's a kind of unclear how much of that's going to actually cross over.
I figured out why I'm going to play season characters now. I'm literally going to be the number one cook on the season.
A season server.
Always. That's great content. I'm going to be cutting meat, cooking steaks, chilling in Calpheon.
The clout.
You probably get the processing icon too.
I think that's one of the best questions that's been asked about seasons, is what are players going to do with their silver? Like, are you going to be buying real stuff? Are you going to be investing in something? Are you going to be saving all of the liquid? Like, what is that going to look like?
Because you're still getting the normal drops too, in addition to the Tuvala stuff, right? You're still getting like your ancient scrolls and your Kaffir's dust and all that.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to, for players that are beyond like vets, they're going to save. And I think that planning on Soft Cap Plus, like immediately starting Soft Cap Plus TED accessories, would be the idea of, unless obviously you don't get full Tuvala. There'll be a difference between people who are just logging in and like playing casual 1 to 2 hours a day. I don't know how far 1 to 2 hours a day is going to get you in 90 days. I have no idea what the process of getting the enhancement stones and shit's going to be.
I think it'll be enough. I think for hardcore players, we're going to be maxed out in the first month. And for more casual players, 3 months is like a reasonable goal for them to get everything if they're just playing here and there.
I don't remember the last time I played BDO that little for one day.
Isn't it scary?
I don't think I get out of Calpheon in 2 hours.
Well, you got to think, if they're doing the lowest common denominator, right, then that means that whoever takes 6 months should be able to do everything in 6 months, right? Even you just play an hour a day, right?
It's not going to be 6 months. It'll be 3 months tops.
Mm-hmm. 3 months, yeah. So, like for someone like us, that's like a month and done, probably, right? Roughly. I would assume the pacing would be similar to like a PoE season, where you do a lot of your stuff in the first month, and then only like your super dedicated streamer types continue from there.
That's another reason why we need the Arsha channel on day one. Man. It's going to add so much more content. It'll stretch out the progress. It'll give us distractions. Like, if it's just grinding, we're going to be done so fast.
Yeah, I wish they just paced it differently. What if? I mean, I'm fine keeping all the pay to win that we have on our account, but what if? Okay, so let's call it 90 days, right? What if the first 45 was pre-awakened and then the last 45 was awakened? or something like that, man. I just hopefully they look at this and they go, we could do something with this instead of just going, run that back for another battle pass. Let's go, boys. Right.
I'm with you on the experience, but I don't think that anybody who hasn't played Pre-Awakened by itself wants that as much as you do. And I think that if you were to say, hey, we're going to do another season and it's only Pre-Awakened, but it's like the Overwatch season where they have those like special fucking events and shit like that. There's so much stuff they can do in this game that no one's thinking about doing. You know what I mean?
Like, bring that up. Overwatch's best content is their 3v3 arenas, and they're only on like every other week, and it boggles my fucking mind. It's so much fun, but it's just like, oh, it's a little special thing that we just do every once in a while. Please play ranked.
I would pay out of my own pocket as little as it is to evaporate the fucking costume task force and have an event task force made instead. That's all I gotta say, dude. Imagine we had like revolving events, like a PvP event or a PvE event.
Their events suck in BDO though. I hate them all.
How dare you?
If they had put the effort and time, like
few, I guess
Overwatch, like Destiny. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you logged in and you saw on the launcher some badass fucking, all LAN versus LAN RBF, and the rewards are doubled this month. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, Lucio Ball. Cool, yeah. You want Lucio Ball and BDO?
Dude, why not? Not the same thing, but imagine.
I think we talked about this. I think we talked about this in a previous podcast where we said that BDO's too afraid to make fun of itself or to be fun, to have fun at. You know what I mean? Where there's Lucio Ball and they're afraid to do ridiculous things and they take themselves very seriously. I don't know why that is. Most games nowadays are, like the cow level on Diablo, right? Moo.
Hut ball, dude.
Hut. I don't know if Hut Ball was necessarily, maybe. I don't know. It kind of fit within the thing of
Griffball
Star
back
Wars.
in the day with Halo, right? Like they companies have done a lot of cool stuff like that.
I mean, we do have Shies playing Baby Shark in the middle of idle storage now, so that's a step in the right direction.
That's a very fair counterpoint, more or less.
Touche.
Right as always, my friend. Right as always. Baby Shark.
Oh, good God.
It's so catchy.
I know. I listen to it all the time. A 3-year-old. Oh, shit. Now all I'm thinking about is that song.
I just got it stuck in everyone's head.
Do we have anything else in-game related that we want to talk about real quick before we move into a couple other topics? I've got like one or two little kind of related, unrelated things.
So in Discord, or this week they released the new costume, right? So they released a new costume. It's the first of a costume every week. And I'm actually surprised. It looks good. Like it has a higher quality than your average costume, right? Let me see if I can pull this up for stream.
Can you post it in the topic ideas channel so I can see that too?
It is in there already.
Is that's the Valk costume?
Ranger. I think it's Ranger. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Ranger outfit.
Real quick, one? How good were the new items they added, like the Abyssal Obsidian Axe? Is it significantly better than the normal Obsidian or the normal Abyssal Axe, or was it just like a minor upgrade?
I would hope that it's closer to Tri Oasis gear.
It's
but I didn't see
garbage.
the stats on it.
I'm looking at it on the codex, and it looks like absolute trash. So I don't know if I'm missing something or if this is the wrong entry.
Is like 85.
Was that just a dead?
It's just dead.
So that was just a completely useless addition, even for new players. Okay, neat.
Hey, Joe, I got a new spoon.
That's a very important spoon for certain things. Things,
it's got a fork on the other end too.
That's dangerous for you.
I know. I don't know which side to use.
I'd put like a cap on it or something to avoid.
Wait, danger. Is the costuming? Which costume is it? How do I find it in game?
It's on in game. It's for Ranger, and it's called the Sylvia set.
That's new.
Is it a recolor or is it a brand new costume?
My understanding is that it is a new costume because they say at the bottom, enjoy this week's premium outfit sale. Also, a different outfit will be added every week and will go on sale for 2 weeks.
That's
once
old.
it's added.
I don't think that's a new one.
You don't think
That's the
it's not new?
Sylvian. Yeah, that's the costume that they gave witches in the goofy mix-up. Oops,
Now,
wrong costume.
did they make it available for all characters?
No,
Was it
they
a Ranger
did-
costume?
No,
That's
it's just Ranger.
okay.
So-
It's just Ranger.
So what
Yeah.
they did is they took a costume that already existed and made an adaptation for Ranger. Then is that what's new here? So old costume on new character.
I'm not
I don't
okay
know.
with the costume
It's close.
task force
It's always
taking
low.
what happen if you take Gavi Reed or like Striker's Blazing Inferno and make it for Berserker? That's great for Berserker, but you're not making a new costume. That's not a new costume.
Yeah,
You're
I
just
don't-
recycling old shit.
yeah, that's
exactly.
the Ranger Awakening release costume.
Yeah,
Huh. So I
misinformation.
I was
Every
curious about it
episode.
because listen here, stop
4 out of
picking-
4, baby.
You guys gotta leave that alone and drop it. It really is annoying.
Hey guys, leave them alone.
Oh,
It's not
alright,
okay to make
alright.
fun
Anyway,
of each other.
I bring
all right?
I bring it up because they mention it here, and it was part of the thing that they mentioned on their Heidel Ball. Right? Is this what we?
Yeah.
Is this what they're doing from the Heidel Ball, or are we expecting something different? Right? Right. I don't know what Ranger costumes are out there. Right. So like,
Yeah,
it's,
neither do I.
Oh, if the costume task force just ends up being 20% sales on costumes from 3 years ago, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
that's why I'm bringing it up. Right. It's not necessarily like I don't know if this is a new costume or not. I figured it was right because they say down here a different outfit will be added every week. And will go on sale for 2 weeks, right? So that's what made me think that it was a new one when they said
Yeah,
added.
and
there.
like, does adding new particle effects to an old costume count as a new costume?
Yeah, is Black Shootout a new costume? I don't know.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
I wanted
it
to talk
does,
about
yeah.
that, right? I was so excited. I love Shoodad, right? I'll take Glorious, I'll take the original, and they go Black Shoodad. I'll go, oh, I'm an Angelord. Let's get on this. And then I look at it, and my fingers on the fucking button. My credit card's on fire. I swiped so many times. Fingers on the button. And I go, wait, I'm just going to dye this. It's the same thing. It's just pre-dyed. And I saw the light. And I didn't fall for the trap, and I bought Artisan Memories instead.
Yeah, and you can't even dye it. So even though it's pre-dyed, you can't even adjust it to like. So it's actually just worse than the regular Shoodad. Like,
You can't fucking dye it?
no, you can't dye it at all.
I'm so fucking upset at this company.
I think the whole idea of selling Shoodad costumes is kind of sketchy to begin with because that was supposed to be
Yeah.
a pre-order exclusive. So I'm surprised they don't like get sued over that. That seems like a real gray area
Well,
to
they
me.
gave the glorious Shoodad
yeah.
to the original, but then they had it for sale. And to be fair, the original Shoodad is the best Shoodad, and it was most of the reason I played Xbox.
I see it both sides. Like, that is a piece of armor that people that were not around when that game first released were really jealous of other people having, and it was a business opportunity for them to make a lot of fucking money. But that is, you can't give people the opportunity to spend more money and then take that prestige away for the future, yo. I think that I agree. I was upset when they came out with that fucking shit too.
Same.
Because it's just gross profit. It's just gross. It takes all of that special shit away. And those are the hardcore homies that are like that play. They give the $200 founders packs and bless online. You know what I
Those
mean? It's like, yo, I'm
dedicated
taking a chance,
players,
man. Yeah,
The most
bro.
That's all
dedicated
from a
players
marketing
took a
standpoint.
dump on.
Yeah, from a marketing standpoint, those players have already spent their money, right? So
Oh,
like
yeah.
from a business standpoint, they're just like, well, we're not getting more money out of those guys, so fuck them.
Exactly.
Let's just recycle Shoodad and get money out of new people.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't imagine
Exactly.
an MMO recycling anything ever.
Well said, dude. So, I want new costumes if they're gonna put Task Force on the title. It better be fucking new. Is all I gotta say. Otherwise, just
Yep.
Costume Force.
Every time costume, yeah, like Space Force, every time the Task Force comes up, it honestly, like, you know, that little rage that starts building up inside you. I feel that a little bit every single time I hear Costume Task Force. Like, out of all the things you could have a fucking task force in this game, it's goddamn costumes.
Hey man, that's what the people want.
I'm not gonna live to see 40 because of this game.
yeah, no Task Force.
All right.
40 then?
So
Okay, Joe. Well, point well taken.
let's jump into Tim's favorite topic of the day. So Kakao has been.
You mind if I set this up?
Sure.
Is that
yeah.
all right?
I feel like you've thought about this for like the last 3 weeks anyway, so you probably do a lot better job than my impromptu.
Well, so I don't want to jump it. This might be a launching point for Joe to get out some feelings and be cathartic for him. So buckle in.
I'm taking
Full
it easy.
dis-
I'm good.
Full disclosure, I think the three of us are Kakao Games partners, and then Joe is not, correct? Potion, are you still a partner?
Last time I checked, I think I am.
Okay.
So.
So just full disclosure, I'm not going to moderate my thoughts or whatever the case is, but I'm just going to say whatever I think. But anyway, Fridays I don't play BDO, right? It's Aftershocks, night off. I just play other games with my IRL friends. I almost never stream. I just chill. And so to that end, I like to play, or my friends like to play. I play whatever they want to play. Is Call of Duty. They're playing Warzone or whatever. And so the first thing I did, and I'm not trying to get political here, but the first thing that popped up when I logged on to Call of Duty, and just bear with me, I'm going to read this because we're on Spotify too.
This is actually good.
So this is our commitment, right? So this is from Infinity Ward when I'm logging on to Call of Duty. There is no place for racist content in our game. This is an effort we began with launch, and we need to do a better job. We're issuing thousands of daily bans of racist and hate-oriented names, but we know we have to do more. And here's a list of things that they're going to do. Adding additional resources to monitor and ID racist content. Adding additional in-game reporting systems to increase the number of bans by hour. Adding filters and greater restrictions on name changes. Evaluating in-game improvements to make it easier to report offenses. Increasing permanent bans to root out our repeat offenders. This is our commitment to you, our fans. Thank you. And so I was like, holy shit, because I always have World Chat on. I love World Chat, a lot of banter, recruitment posts. You can kind of just keep your thumb on the pulse of the game. But ever since recent events, it's been a hot fucking disaster in such an embarrassing way. And just like, it's just gross. And so it's either turn it off and keep your finger off of the the pulse of the game, if you will, and not be able to have that kind of fun banter, filters dog, Aftershock sucks, that kind of stuff, and the in-game fun, or you subject yourself to this bullshit. And so I sent GM Enlave a message. I was like, hey man, like, is there any way you guys can, like, I don't know, look at World Chat? I have channel chat turned off. I did that years ago. It's not constructive in any way, shape, or form. And they're like, no, you have to send a report. And so I go from that mindset to Call of Duty, who is like, we got to do better. We're working at this, but we have to do better. This isn't the time to sit still on this. And then you go to Kakao Games. I don't know if they're allowed to moderate their chat in their game or anything, but it's literally the only game I've ever fucking played that has absolutely none. And it has plagued me personally well before today. But yeah, I know, Joe. You too.
Yeah, buddy.
And so could you imagine going someplace, right? Or doing something where it's like, I had an analogy before, but you walk into a place and they're supposed to do something for you, and instead they hand you a form and go, hey, if you see something going on wrong here, can you just let us know, and then we'll put it in the queue. It's like we're paying them. They're making a lot of money, and they're not moderating this shit at all. It's the fucking Wild West. And it's just getting worse. And why wouldn't it when there's absolutely no... You report somebody, what do they get? Well, here's your 12-hour suspension. Maybe, right? And so it's to use Moreland's phrase, it's armchair publishing. And it's a continuous and constant thing that happens. And this is just another example of it.
Well, the irony is, when the game was new, they actually over-moderated the chat. I remember there was that whole thing where people were getting banned for talking about World War II. You guys remember that back in the day?
No.
Yep.
Yeah, they were just like anything that could even be remotely adjacent to something offensive, people were arbitrarily getting banned for. And now it's like you could just spam the N-word all day long and nothing happens. It's like complete. I don't know. They just gave up on in-game moderation at some points.
I don't want to make this guy too famous, but there's somebody who changed his name to specifically have a racial slur in it, and then was popping bells on streamers' channels and stuff like that. He's still playing the game.
Did you see
I
that
can't
post
imagine.
that QMG put in the partner Discord?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so there's guild names. He submitted tickets about how many months ago, and they still just straight up inward guild names that like.
I submitted a ticket for those. CM Richter actually sent me a message and said, "Hey, can you make a ticket for these guild names so we can have them removed?" And yeah, buddy, sure, no problem. They're still there. It's the same ones. It's the same ones.
That was what, over a year ago?
Pretty wild.
It was a year ago. He was let go or quit or whatever I'm supposed to say.
So even longer than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're clearly just not even reading those reports. Like, that's not even a matter of backlog. It's literally just going into the shredder.
Yeah, I think it's just not a priority for them, right? And it needs to have. It needs to be something that the people speak out about, so that something changes, right?
It's a terribly sensitive topic right now, so it's a really good opportunity to remind people that are in positions of like in a place where they can make a difference that they should be, because right now I think that is probably one of the worst detrimental I guess activities in BDO in comparison to every other video game that I have ever played. It is hands down, World Chat is disgusting, and there's no moderation, and they don't do anything about it. Guild names, character names, World Chat. I can go on, but like, it's just, I have never seen anything worse than that in this video game. And it doesn't seem like anyone cares about it that is in charge.
Even if you set aside like the moral or the political affiliation, just from a strictly business standpoint, it's fucking idiotic to have toxic chat that is that toxic. Because when new players log into the game, the first thing they see is inwards being spammed. It's like, how do you think they're going to be like, oh yeah, this seems like a good community? The
solution is just ignore it. That is it, because there's no action taken. We are accepting this to be okay, and it's your job as a player to shut it off if you don't want to see it.
Which is what everyone does, right? Everyone turns off chat and world chat.
Which means that
like 2% of the population has that shit turned on.
Even the players that have it turned off, that means all of us included. Like, we are playing a video game where people behave that way. And
sorry.
Go ahead.
When I go to a grocery store or Home Depot or whatever, I'm paying for a product that has been shipped to a place where I can purchase it. There's markup on it. And then they have employees where if I go, I can't find a hammer, they go, it's in the hammer aisle, idiot. Right. And then I go get the hammer and then I bring it to the person and the person goes, give me $10. And then I go, here's 20, please give me $10 back. And they go, you're an idiot. Here's your $10 back for a $4 hammer. And I refuse to go through that self-checkout line for the exact same reason that this shit pisses me off, is that I'm paying for a service, right? There's expectations of, you have terms of use, and I expect moderation for it, right? We're subjecting ourselves to this, and they're ignoring it. And I think specifically in the current political and humane, the things that are going on in Twitter and the world and news and all that kind of stuff, that, ignoring something this bad and allowing it to fester and increase, I think people are really starting to understand that doing nothing is as bad as participating in it.
It's co-signing it. It's the same thing as saying it's okay. Doing nothing is the same thing as saying it's okay.
I agree with that.
There's so many ways that you can make the comparisons from that to a lot of other situations with Kakao as a company. So like this is the specific situation, but to overall address and to use this as a bridge, I don't want to like gloss over this at the same time, because I think now is a really good time for everybody to just take a step back from all the situations they got going on in their day, and whether or not they think that this is something that brings them pleasure or brings them fucking enjoyment on their own end, on their own fucking screen. But to remember that everybody that plays this fucking game is a live beating heart on another side of a fucking screen somewhere in the world that's got challenges and adversities and problems and daily lives and stresses that they're coming to this game to escape to. So it's not just about me getting what I want out of it. It's remembering that there's fucking human beings on the other side of the fucking screen. Now's a really great time to remember that shit, not just real life, but also in gaming. Because we all come here to fucking have fun. We all come here to play. Like, we come here to escape the bullshit. I don't want to get into BDO and see more bullshit. I don't want that at all. It's not the reason why I play. It's not the reason why I encourage people to play. So to one of the biggest fucking reasons why I left the Kakao partner program was because I became fed up with the company, their lack of taking responsibility for the game that we play. It's not enough at a certain point. There are too many issues that are against my value system, that getting a couple fucking costumes here and there and a couple tweets on fucking Twitter just do not benefit me anymore. It is more of a negative association. It is more stress and more bullshit for me to be associated than it is for me to be disassociated with.
So in regards to moderation for racism, right? I think it's clear that the intent behind what people are doing is the most important thing to punish, right? Right. So if people, I think that, and then also exercising forgiveness against first-time offenders versus like people who are blatantly doing this repetitively, right? And I'd like to see.
I don't know, man.
I disagree.
Don't know if there needs to be that much nuance. Like, normally, I'm all for the nuance, but if someone's spamming the N-word, just ban them from the game.
Gone.
You don't need forgiveness. You don't need a warning. You know not to spam the N-word. There's no different intent of using the N-word. Like, just don't do it in a video game. You know, just don't do it. I don't think it's that hard.
Why is spamming racial slurs so much more nuanced in the legislation that comes on than exploiting in the game? Right.
Exactly. Well, fucking said, dude. I remember hearing. I don't if I'm misremembering this shit. I know there's people that siege. I know there's people that fucking siege that are listening to this, that will listen to this. But I remember a situation where a player in a certain guild, I don't know names, I don't remember, I'm not going to include anybody's specifics. A player in a certain guild spammed multiple racial slurs and reported themselves, and knew that reporting themselves would allow them to avoid the consequence. I said this, I shouldn't have said it. I know that this was wrong. And they ended up avoiding getting the ban because the GM was like, "We know, man, you're so fucking right. I really appreciate the concern that you had for your community. Well done, sir. We're not going to give you a fucking ban, dude." And if I misremember that shit, I'm completely fucking wrong. So, I vividly remember that shit happening.
I will say that I do think that the nuance of both of them should be the same, right? Between hacking and, right? I don't think there should be a difference there. But exploiting. Exploiting. But my point is really that, like, do you guys think that this chat bans for this would be good, or perm bans are justified? Like, what do you guys want to see what do you want to see, like, Probus Kakao do for this type of situation? Because obviously there needs to be something done. The question is, what is too much, if there is a too much, and what is not enough, right? Obviously right now is not enough. Very, very clear.
So what are your thoughts? As many permanently banned League of Legends accounts as I have from younger years, I must say that their way of punishment was extremely effective, where it was, hey, you can't call him stupid. You know, they're way too far, right? But how they did it was like, hey, warning. Now it's like, 30 game or 14-day chat ban or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, you're out of this game for 2 weeks. You need to cool the fuck off. You need to go play some Overwatch or something. And then after that, it's like, see ya. Thanks for your money, idiot. We don't want you. Buy another account. But then that's a different problem. Then when you're learning the game, it's a bunch of people who just got permanently banned and they want to say the N-word as many times as they can. But outside of that, I think that structure, especially for BDO, would be extremely effective. Anything would be an upgrade over what there is now, which is nothing, and putting the onus on people who want to, wait, hold on. You're not even being a streamer, right? You're just grinding. You got a loot scroll on. You go, well, this guy's spamming this shit. Is anyone else gonna All right. Let me get my snip tool. Let me fill out this 1.5 page form.
That's I think that's step one. Step one is
so we can get a 12-hour ban.
Yeah, you can't put the responsibility on the players. There has to be some type of action from the game itself, from the people that moderate the game. Like, there should be some way to. I cannot imagine in 2020 there's no way to fucking track what somebody says in a goddamn chat log and a flag, and to say, hey, you are flagged for saying ridiculous things or things along the lines of, breaking the TOS. We're just going to immediately take action. Blackout 14 days, whatever, no chat 14 days. Next time, perma.
These are feelings
I think that's reasonable, yeah.
These are feelings I've always had about this game. And so I'm kind of using what's currently happening, and there's still lack of commitment to moderating their game in any way, shape, or form. But specifically now we're talking about chat. Now is the time to look at that. Shave your marketing fund a little bit and fucking do something. Get out of your armchair, stand up, and moderate your fucking game consistently.
I think it's bigger than just BDO right now. Like every game, every chat should be standing up for this type of nonsense right now. Like it's the time for this shit to be heard, dude. I know.
Call of Duty, it's right there. It's even political. It's even political. Black Lives Matters is on every single screen of Call of Duty. They're just going full bore, right? And we can't even get our game to moderate chat, so it's even safe to stream when they're paying streamers to play our game.
It's a crazy thing to think about, like the history of not world chat, but the history of like shout chat or say chat in every game that you've ever played growing up. It is this really weird place where people just dump nonsense into a microphone or into a chat space with literally no repercussions, no consequences whatsoever. And it's crazy to think. It is actually just crazy to think that there are people that think that, and for me personally, just think that is okay. Like, this is just okay. This is okay behavior. I'm having fun if I choose to do that type of shit. I think it's disgusting. I think it's gross. I think that it's unreal when people behave in a way that is so far, quote unquote, outside of their normal character, or it's just the internet. And, it doesn't matter because it's just the internet, like all of the excuses and all the rationalizations and justifications for that type of fucking behavior. But at the end of the day, you're that person who's saying nonsense in the video game. It doesn't matter whether you're saying it in a video game or it's coming out of your fucking mouth. It's the same thing.
I want to be really clear, because I brought up BLM, is that I'm not trying to put any pressure or bring up politics or anything like that. I'm simply asking that the world chat finally be moderated, since it's just taken such a big left turn. I'm not saying that anybody should get involved in politics or trying to bring that up as you
are the king of world chat. It is very important that they listen to your opinion on this, I would say.
I make them a lot of money off those fucking megaphones, man.
So, is there any other thoughts on necessarily Kakao in particular, other than just this? There's way more things that we can talk about other than just the world chat. What are you guys thinking about potential
just
exploits?
Real quick, a lot of people in my chat are saying things like, if you moderate one form of speech, how do you keep that from being a slippery slope? Like, are people going to get banned for misgendering? Like, that's not what we're talking about, you guys. Everyone knows not to spam the fucking N-word 100 times, or like name your character the N-word. We're not looking for a slippery slope here. We're not looking for things that are a gray area. We're looking for things that are clearly that anyone with common sense would look at that and say, okay, this is a person who's just trying to piss people off and be offensive and be hateful. Yeah. And it's like, it's not going to allow new players to enjoy the game. Like, I think there's a pretty easy common sense line that anyone with half a brain could draw here. We're not trying to make the game into a safe space or anything like that. There's just some way over the top egregious shit that clearly needs to be moderated.
Well, this is where the nuance needs to become in, and it's like the important thing is the intent, right? Because what happens on Twitch, is like, basically, all right, you censored out the N-word, right? So they can't say it. Then they mistyped the N-word. Then you censor all those. Then they start spamming tryhards. Then you ban tryhard. Then they start doing come on bros. And then they sub to Lakari and start spamming Lakari emotes, right? It's like the intent behind it is what matters, right? So the solution is ban that person when you know the intent is incorrect.
No one's trying to say ban people who are using
Lakari emotes.
It's like way beyond what we're calling for here.
Hold on, man. So right now you could make a character and use a hard R N-word in the character. You've always been able to do that. You've literally always been able to do that. Maybe we're just saying start there so you can't do that. And then you can start worrying about, you literally can't change your family name. You can only have numbers at the back end of your family name. I was going to be Tim Allen 1337 TTV, right? That's what I was going to do. But I can't. The numbers have to be at the end because you could make some fucking little leet speak kind of thing. But you could just put a hard R in there and it would go through on the character name at least. I don't know if it'd be for the family name. And so they've got these weird little moderation things, but maybe just start off with like the real big shit, and then if Try Hard 7 is really pissing people off or whatever the case is,
I just don't. I'm so fucking sick of the conversations where people are defending their ability to offend others. Like they're waiting for that. Hey man, well, I'm allowed to offend people, and when you take this away, you can't take away my this thing, and you can't take away my this thing. It's like those are the fucking people that need to look at what the fuck is being said and what the fuck is going on in the world around you. Like that exact situation. You're literally in a world full of the exact specific circumstances that are going on all around us. You're arguing for something to allow you the right to fucking offend someone. Like that shit blows my goddamn fucking mind. It blows my mind where it's, we're avoiding the slippery slope of me offending somebody. Like I understand that it's yes, in the United States, you've got the fucking right to say whatever the fuck you want to say, but not in a private video game chat.
Right.
There's a difference between you walking out and having the fucking right to free speech and
my person behind it is I do think the intent behind it should be extremely bannable, right? But all right, so this is it becomes a cat and mouse game if you start banning individual words, right? So on Twitch right now, you can't have porn. It's very obvious, right? So it's a whole cat and mouse game of someone trying to get a dick on your screen, right? So they accidentally get a dick on your screen, right? Then you get banned. But was your intent to show a dick on your stream? No, probably not, right? But then you get banned anyway. So it's a cat and mouse game, right? The streamer's intent was good, but the chat's intent was bad. So who gets punished? The streamer.
Okay,
right?
We're not talking about people getting banned for being adjacent.
I'm talking about the intent. I'm using an example. I'm doing an example for the intent
Ocean,
behind
your
it.
example
right?
is like someone with an N-word in their name pops a bell and the streamer gets banned. No one here is calling for that. We're calling for the person who's popping the bell with the N-word name to get banned. Like it's a very clear distinction. I don't think it's that confusing.
I think what everybody who's listening to this should do right now that plays BDO is pull up the guild ranks and you can search guilds, type in any slur and just see what pops up.
So this is a better example of what I'm trying to prove here. All right. Someone says I'm going to Desert Nagas, right, which is a grind spot in BDO, and someone else bans. Someone actually says the creature name Naga as with ill intent, right? That person should get banned, right? The person who says Naga with the ill intent should get banned, right?
You actually can on Twitch too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's my distinction there, right? And I don't want to say just this word is banned. I want anybody who tries any type of typing thing and has the ill intent behind it to get banned, right? I want it to be global, the intent behind it to be bannable. I don't care what they use. I don't care what if it's like I hate and they put in something there, right? To substitute for the intent. I don't care what it is. I want all of it. I don't care about words. I care about the intent. Right? That's what I care about.
Okay. I'm trying to get us to walk before we're running or crawl before we walk, I don't like low hanging fruit here first.
I don't personally feel like we need to take it that far. I think people, should be able to talk trash, and if someone makes like a joke that's maybe a little bit too edgy, I don't think they should lose their account over that. I do think that there's a common sense, clear line that everyone is blatantly, not everyone, but certain people are blatantly and intentionally crossing because they know that they can get away with it. And that's where we should be starting.
Yeah, I agree. I just wanted to clarify what I was trying to convey because I'm very bad at conveying my ideas.
That was that was put well and passionately. I could see it in your face. As much as you were smiling when you were talking about, what were you smiling about?
I don't know. I smell about weird stuff.
Okay. Can we wrap this up? Should we move on to other games?
Yeah, let's move on.
Any last comments?
Let's move on. I want to see if there's anything else on the topic list. I think that was it. Yeah, it's just Last Oasis stuff now.
Do you have anything else, Joe?
Well, I mean, like it's such a tough thing because I feel like we've been trying to have this discussion for a month, talking about like specifically when we started this podcast, it was the tail end of the aftermath of Mapgate. And, the discussion about what is and is not bannable and we're not we evolved into what not is, what is, and what is not, who is it to blame, but what is and what is not bannable, and the responsibility of Kakao as the entity that they are to the players and to Pearl Abyss. And I feel like we there's so much to talk about specifically here. There's a lot going on socially. There's a lot going on culturally in moderating chat, but all of that leads to the overarching discussion about.
It's just another example of them doing a poor job publishing their game.
Agreed. I wanted to use some time, and I wanted to tell a story. I wanted to discuss my overall interaction from like pretty much soup to nuts with Kakao as coming from an outside of BDO game, like literally streaming another game completely. My interaction with them beforehand, my interaction after the fact, and how things changed. But it's like a probably 5-minute story, and I don't know if it's the time or the place to get into it ever. At the same time, I'm the only guy in here that's not a BDO partner, and like if you say anything knowingly wrong about Black Desert Online or Kakao Games, you can lose your BDO partnership. As much as that means to anybody, I don't want to put you guys in an uncomfortable position, but I have shit to say, dude. Like I have shit to say.
I'm comfortable. Are you comfortable, Morley?
I'm always comfortable. I don't
Are you
have
good?
I'm nice and cozy right now.
Tell a 5-minute story, man.
Because I wanted to get your thoughts about this, Moreland, because the more I get a chance to hear your like state of mind and your perspective, the more I really respect your thoughts on it. So like I started playing this game 3 years ago, coming from a community in Final Fantasy XIV as a full-time MMO streamer. And I was unbelievably surprised and like honestly shocked and excited to get an email from the community manager of Kakao Games. He said that he had seen a GM of his had seen me, a full-time Final Fantasy streamer, start playing BDO for the first time. He messaged his boss, and his boss sent me an email saying, "We are proud that you started playing Black Desert Online. We are excited that you decided to play this game. If there's anything that we can do for you, please reach out and let me know what that can be." And that was the beginning of my relationship with Imri, who's the community manager of Black Desert Online. I reached out and I explained and I expressed every single same bit of business that I do with every single community program that I've done, from Square Enix to Bethesda to Tryon to those are the majority. ZeniMax Online, you know what I mean? Like every company that I've ever worked with as a content creator, I give them my background, my views, my followers, my subs, my my plans for the future areas of content. And I say, hey, I'm looking for self-promotion. I'm looking for in-game items, and I'm looking for ways that I can create a more comfortable stream and a more productive stream to showcase your video game to my community. And it was discussed, we can promote you, we can tweet you, we can give you costumes for the future, but just keep on going and I'll help you out as best I can. And it was amazing. This was before the BDO partner program. I got tweets, I got retweeted, and it ended up bringing a lot of excitement, a lot of direction to my stream. People started griefing me. People started hunting me because they became aware of that. So I reached out and I said, hey, is there anything that can be done? And my perception of BDO started changing from realizing that it was not Final Fantasy XIV and realizing it was not any of those other games to seeing BDO for what it is, which is the literal Wild West PvP universe that we get a chance to play. So with more attention, with growth inside of the game, I became aware of that and their lack of ability to do anything beyond. So there came a time where, you start watching the Heidel Ball, we start watching, like the announcements, the Pearl Abyss side. We start listening and we start seeing, hey guys, we're going to start a BDO partner program. And what that means is we're going to get all you guys to partner up with us. We're going to retweet you guys. We're going to, promote you guys. We're going to get you X. We're going to do X, whatever it is. And you guys can all come in and support Black Desert Online for us, for all this thing. And everybody says, sounds great. This sells. Why would I not? Why would I not get a costume? Why would I not want to help my community out? And at that point,
there's always been a sense of collaboration, even before the partner Discord and all that stuff, to the most of the streamers outside of one or two, personalities wanted before the partner program really existed to work together and collaborate and toss hosts back and forth too.
And it's a huge thing for a company to create that for their content creators, because you're talking about the people that are the most active drive to sales. Like they are funneling traffic to your video game. They're showing you what they're showing people how much fun you can have on a daily basis. It's just literally part of the business that Twitch is creating for video game companies. So to not have one is ignorant. It's just a sign of the times. Like, you have to get on it. You have to do something about it. So the fact that they created it is great. And at that point in time, I started having fundamental issues with the BDO partner program, because they stopped retweeting me. They stopped promoting my stream, which I have no problem with. It is neither here nor there. But if I'm associated with and I'm helping out and they're using my analytics to look fucking great, I hope that this would be something that, again, benefits and promotes my stream. And I started watching the caliber of content creator that was added to the program and continued to be invited. And I started looking at the bar getting lowered and lowered and lowered and lowered. And there's nothing wrong with a newer content creator looking for that type of promotion. I think that should be something that content creators aspire to be a part of, so that they can get promotions, they can get, increased traffic, and people can find their communities, which is an amazing thing. But the more that time went on, the more I started realizing that this program actually means nothing. Like there is nothing at all to benefit a content creator outside of maybe a tweet here and there. And I started becoming less and less interested in the program. And again, long story short, with recent events, it came to a situation where I realized that it was so different, the knowledge that an active player had, than someone that was making a salary to control the game. There's so much of a difference between someone who plays the game on a daily basis and somebody who's getting paid to monitor the game and getting paid to, enforce rules in a game. And that it flabbergasted me, and it blew my fucking mind. The exact situation that I found myself in after the Afaro map situation, and that I was specifically accused of knowingly promoting misinformation about the game in regard to reading something that I said in my chat about GM Caramel, and saying that Kakao Games told me that they were fucking, that it was legit. It was 100%. I'm getting my exact words here.
Yeah,
that
it seemed.
Yeah.
I remember when that whole thing went down, and it seemed like basically Imra saw a few 15-second clips of you talking and didn't really look at any of the context that went into any of that. Which, I mean, I don't know, man. When it comes to their involvement in the game, it's very strange. Like, there's been times in the past where it seemed like Kakao and the partner managers and stuff were very interested, and they wanted to communicate with us, and they were talking to us, and they were listening to our feedback. There's other times where they're silent for months on end, and there's no events, and there's no support, and we can barely get the time of day answered in the partner Discord. As far as like whether or not the partner program is useful, I don't really care about things like giving out free costumes.
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Have I ever?
I'm going to take them if they're available, but it's not.
Have you given
biggest
those?
Thing.
I'm sorry, Joe. Have you given those costumes away before ever?
Yeah, I gave them all out. Like when we had the Succession stuff, I gave those out. But I mean, I don't think that that's really what the partner program should necessarily be focusing on. I think that they should be focusing on helping us grow our channels. And to that end, doing things like putting a partner spotlight on the website or retweeting us, those kinds of things were really useful. I don't know when the last time I got retweeted by the BDO Twitter is. I think it's been years. I don't really know why they stopped. They used to retweet me quite a bit, and I would notice it when they did. Like, more people would come and check out my channel, and it was good for the growth. And
Richter was doing it. He had control. I'd ask him for it, and sometimes you have to ask for it. I've asked for Emre to do it too. Emre's part of that's. I don't know if there's another CM doing it, but I know that's one of Emre's responsibilities is that. And then Avalis, I think she is the person who leads it altogether. So there's a couple people that do it, but Richter had the Twitter account and would help. He was the only guy that was really in the streams and helping the homies out, right? So Enlave is a homie and all that kind of stuff, but he's an EU and he's got a bunch of different jobs and he's a GM. He's not a CM, right? And so where's the replacement for Richter that to get into the community, right? Cabs, he's another EU guy that's supposed to be in here or something like that.
That's the thing, is they don't think they need to replace Richter, right? Like Richter,
Yeah.
as far as I understand it, he was let go because they just wanted to spend less money on the BDO staff. It's not like he was doing a bad job. I mean, clearly he was doing a superb job. So they let him go for financial reasons, and they don't think it's worth it to replace him. Like they
none of that's true. None of that's true, Moreland.
All right, so
yeah.
I don't have any contractual agreement to not say anything, so I can tell you what I
know.
No.
No. You might get him in trouble.
Oh, okay, that's fair then.
Yeah.
Then.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe he did something so that he actually deserved to be let go, but nonetheless, like he was never replaced. And I mean, I don't think, is it really that hard to find a community manager who actually like
knows the game and watches Twitch
and like can, will respond to us when we DM him? I mean, I can't imagine that it would be difficult to find someone who wants to do that. It seems like a pretty cozy job for a gamer type person to go after.
He was messaging content creators. He was in Siege guilds. I was helping him write the report back to Pearl Abyss for what happened in Siege, who's on what side, how it all happened. The dude actually fucking cared for whatever $40,000 or $50,000 a year job in California that was, right? He cared a lot. It was good for his resume, and he wanted to do a great job. And he saw that this company was a place where he could rise up, and there's just nobody there right now that's willing to do that. It seems, and I can tell you 100% sure that it had nothing to do with finances. Nothing.
That's the fundamental basis of my dissatisfaction with this program, is that there are people in place that don't have any interest in the game becoming better because of the interactions and because of the times of the people that are involved. So I just kept it fucking pissed me off, dude. Like, I'm a member of the partner program and I'm watching the BDO partner chat go by, and I'm not talking. I'm not saying a fucking word. I'm just listening to all of the concerns and all of the valid feedback and all of the like pertinent, like just golden nuggets of information that were being dumped in there by people who literally pour their hearts and souls into their content. And some of them who do it professionally, full time. Their lives revolve around it. And all of that information got nowhere. Like, literally went nowhere. And we found out about that when we went to Korea and we talked to devs. We talked to people that said, "Oh wait, have you been getting the partner feedback? Have you been getting the feedback from Kakao?" Because we have days and days and days worth of messages, and it stopped. It just stopped. Someone's job was to discern what was positive and what was valuable feedback, and they just don't do it. They just do not at all do their job, which is...
I don't think they can. I don't think the people who are in the partner Discord have the knowledge or the understanding of the game to figure out what is important feedback,
I agree.
What isn't.
Emory doesn't know about this game.
Yeah, that's why they react to all the outrage and all the upvoted posts on Reddit rather than the substantive, arguments or point of view that we're trying to bring up, like logically in the partner. They're not going to respond to that. They're going to respond to large amounts of emotion from the bigger audience. They can't discern what is a well thought out piece of feedback that we're giving to them in the partner Discord.
That by itself is a statement of incompetence and a statement of they are literally losing business. Like, that shit does not exist at Square Enix. That is a company that the people that are involved in their video game, they are paid to know what the fuck is happening on Twitch. They're paid to know what's happening outside of their game and Twitch. They're paid to know what's going on inside of their game and outside of their game and other games. That is something that is so grossly different in this particular partner program. Well, I have never, ever in my life, in my career, come across more people that are getting paid by a company who don't know shit about the game that they're fucking getting paid for.
I mean, it comes back to like, what is the purpose of the partner program? Because like you said, in the beginning, when they were adding partners, it was people above a certain, number of views who had been streaming the game for a certain number of time. And then eventually it was like, you could stream the game for 3 weeks and get 10 viewers and you were a BDO partner.
Exactly.
And then most of the people who got partnered quit the game and went to play other stuff anyways. They were never loyal to the game. They were never really like core members of the community, but they were all added to the partner program. What they should be using the partner program for is to curate the people that they trust to listen to. They don't have to be experts on the game. Like, I get it. They're a publisher. They're not going home and playing BDO for 30 hours a day like the rest of us, right? Like, it's a job to them. It may not necessarily be their passion, and that's fine. But that's why we are here, because we are the ones who do know. We are the ones who are passionate. And you should be adding partners to the program who you can trust, who have good judgment, who have, communities that they understand and that they listen to. And if someone is toxic, or if someone continually gives feedback that's not useful, then kick them out of the partner program. Like, keep it to the people who you can listen to. And if you feel like people are saying things in the partner Discord that aren't useful, get them out of the partner Discord. Like, what is it, just here to jerk off all the like partners and make them feel good? Like, is that the point of the program?
If you don't know what's useful, how do you weed those people out?
So I'll tell you exactly what they've been doing, right? They've been copying Pearlbis in every step of the way. So Pearlbis created their Discord first, and then as soon as they created their Discord, Kakao, literally a week or two later, created their Discord, right? They said a partner program sign up on their website on Pearlbis's first. Then Kakao copied that and did the exact same thing, right? Where the partner program. It's just been.
I'm sure there's a directive. Yeah.
They've been following in the footsteps of what Pearlbis has been doing. I think the core problem at the end of the day is, like you said, the feedback getting back, right? Because it's just not getting back. That's the core problem.
And for those of us that have relationships or contacts at Pearl Abyss, right, that can have friendly conversations, or as I like to call it, water cooler talks about what's happening over here, even though they may not be directly connected to it. It's extremely obvious to tell that there's an enormous disconnect, and that's what infuriated me. I said on stream when you were going through your bullshit, Joe, that if the bans weren't reverted or this wasn't looked after, or whatever the case was, I'd resign my partnership with Kakao Games. But I see it as chicken soup at this point. It's not doing any harm, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to protect a company that's doing fuck all for me and is not interested in making this partnership program better. And to correct you just for a second, Potion, is that I actually started the first partner Discord. Were you in it? Remember that? Morlin, now you were in it, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I was saying official partner Discord.
I know. I understand. Official standpoint.
I understand.
Yeah.
No, I understand. But that was so much more effective.
Yeah.
Not, I know Tim Allen's arrogant and all that stuff, but just having it actually run by us and having this discussion that would come on, and then Emre was in there. There was a couple of Kakao people games in there, and they would respond to it effectively. And there was an issue in the beginning where I didn't know if we were going to delete that or just keep using mine versus the official partner one. Eventually, they ironed all that weird shit out and stuff, but maybe not. But I felt like it was more effective when it was just a bunch of streamers getting together, and there was basic rules, like you had to
of partners who cared about the game and who were active and who were part of the community. And if one person disagreed on something, that was fine. But for the most part, we had strong consensus about things that were important, and we had useful discussions in there. And now the partner Discord has 20 employees from Kakao. Only two of them ever talk, and it's got 100 different. Apparently my voice is messed up. Do I sound weird?
A little deep. You're a little deep.
Let me mess with my cord.
So to finish it off, the rules were every partner was invited, and if you had one streamer that you liked, that you kind of wanted to stick your neck out for to bring in, then you could bring him in. Somebody who's up and coming or whatever. I brought in Game Nadian like I always fucking do. But people, I think Stone Spoon brought in Psycho or whatever. It was great. There was very, very, very little drama, almost none. And there was no GVGs happening in the partner Discord. And so I don't know how we got from there to just the fucking disaster that it is. And maybe it's just us all finally realizing that there is no feedback loop. It doesn't get back, and it's a waste of time.
Do I still sound weird?
No,
you sound better.
Welcome back. The thing that Yeah.
Yeah, Dandy was there too.
I think I can tell you. I think I can tell you guys what the difference is. When it was just a dozen of us in a Discord with 2 or 3 people from Kakao, it was all people who wanted to be there.
Yep.
I think now the partner Discord it's kind of like what Potion was saying. Probably they were told to set it up. Most of them don't really want to be in there. They don't really want to listen to us. I don't even know if they necessarily like most of us. I think they kind of just see us as like loose cannons that they have to handle. And
they don't like me anymore. I can tell you that.
Yeah. So I don't think any of them are really that interested in working with us. And back when it was a smaller Discord that wasn't official, it was just a few people who did want to work with us. And I think that's why shit got done back then, and now it doesn't.
Well, so I was super upset with oh man. There was another partnered content creator that said a statement that was extremely insensitive. This is specific as I'll get. And I think it's really interesting that somebody like that can get a warning for making a really insensitive comment about a struggle that a country is going through and just get a slap on the wrist where, the Afro map and the naming and shaming and the exploiting and all that stuff. There's people who are negative balanced for exploiting, right? That are still partners. But you can go on your stream and say just some terrible shit and just get a slap on the wrist. It just furthers the point that there's no consistency in the moderation in any stop on that train.
That's why I left. That was the exact reason why I left, is because I'm looking at partners of players that are in the game that I know have, said absolutely wild shit, that have hunted me, that have been involved in, not personally like conduct befitting a Twitch partner, let alone anybody else, whatever. And I'm in a position where they can give feedback to a company that negatively affects me, and that players that are going around and witch hunting and negatively affecting the actual gameplay lives of others are getting more credit for the shit that they're saying about somebody else than the actual reality of what happened. So I had an opinion and it was wrong. And I stood by my opinion and I argued my opinion. And I, at the end of the day, made the right decision to not participate in a after the fact, last minute decided exploit in Black Desert Online. And because someone said that he misspoke and that he's slandering and knowingly lying about the fucking game, about the shit that he said, when all of the comments that I made, immediately knowing that they were like, I as a content creator, as a full-time motherfucking Twitch partner, this is my life, this is my job, this is my fucking business for 6 years, dude. I'm not in the business of slandering, of knowingly spreading false information, ever. You cannot survive on the internet spreading false information for as long as I have with a bald-ass fucking head that I've got. Okay?
I don't know. Keemstar does a pretty good job.
Listen. You can play the titty game and shit. That's not me, though, okay? All right, listen. So I was in a position where I said things and they were clipped, and immediately afterwards said, okay, I read this out of my chat. This is false. Apologized. Was reached out to by the community manager of the game to apologize. And I stated, you're absolutely right. I apologize for saying what I said, but I'm not going to go out of my way to go back through my streams and clip every time that I said that I was sorry, because you're watching a clip and taking it at face value, and you're not willing to go in and do the research about my side of the fucking story. Mm-hmm. And it's easy. Like, someone said GM Caramel was fired, and I said apparently GM Caramel was fired, and I talked about it after the fact in the stream. I said that was wrong. Sorry, guys.
The clip actually cut out the part where he said apparently. Also, yeah. I've got $20 that Emery doesn't have a Twitch account.
That's another story. And for me saying that officially, the conversation that I had was in regard to Kakao in the past not taking action when things like sea monster hunting and shopping and other things had gone on in the game. When they do not take action to ban, that is the same thing as officially saying that it's okay. So based off of those actions in the 8-hour argument that I was having with that one fucking troll in my stream, in that 8-hour discussion, the 15-second clip that got me was official. It's official. It's official, right? Mm-hmm. So I explained that, and I sent that in a fucking email, and I said, you gotta be joking me. You actually have to be joking me. For me to be doing what I'm doing as long as I'm fucking doing, to have a couple guys sitting on the fucking sidelines that are upset for some godforsaken fucking reason, for whatever reason, that they're on the high horse of, all cheaters should get fucking banned. All cheaters should be fucking banned. To be upset that I wasn't involved and upset that I wasn't fucking banned, to then want to take it out on my fucking BDO partnership of all things I don't give a flying fuck about. But like for those guys to have the impact on my community, because the people who suffer from this are my community. It's not me. I don't fucking care. It's my people that support me.
I mean, there's a bunch of people who clipped like Vert and Zethian and Huntler, and I don't know exactly what they said in those clips, but a bunch of people during that controversy. You had people on side A and you had people on side B, and everyone was going out and looking for incendiary clips that they could take out of context to get the streamer that they didn't like in trouble on Twitch or in trouble with the BDO partner program. Not that anyone really cares if they get punished from the BDO partner program, but some people, I mean, Vert got in trouble with Twitch directly, and I don't know why. I don't know what the clip was, but people were just people were just gunning for each other during that time.
He said some wild shit. That's why he got banned. Like people don't get wrongfully fucking banned from doing that shit. So people can also portray one side of things and say. People can say one side of things and say, "Oh, it was these guys who were fucking mass reporting me," but why were they fucking mass reporting you?
Right. Why are people mass reporting each other? Right? Yes, two sides to right. You can have that opinion, very valid opinion. You can have this opinion, very valid opinion. But it came down to who could make the most fucking noise. Right? That's what it came down to. And why did it come down to that? Because they're in their nice fucking cozy armchair and they're not paying attention. They're being reactionary, right? When I was on Choice's podcast, he brought to my attention, I didn't know that apparently 10 minutes after these big streams with the maps came up, they go, hey, can't do this anymore. This is bad. We're turning it off. Would that really have happened if you were paying the fuck attention? Or maybe did it just you're just nice and cozy, sitting, chilling. Oh shit, I have to do something now. Fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that they failed in numerous different ways when it came to that event. And it does boil down to again, the partners brought that whole controversy to them a week ahead of time and said, hey, this is
more than that. It was longer than that.
And it was completely ignored until the noise got to a certain point, right? And that's how it goes with people getting punished and losing their partnership or being clipped or whatever. It's just if there's a controversy that makes it so that someone higher up at the company notices and starts yelling at people, then it gets reacted to. If it's just the partners authentically conveying something that's important to them in the Discord, it's well, I mean, do we really need to pay attention to that? We got other things to do.
I'd like to.
Go ahead.
What?
Sorry, I'd like to transition this into Last Oasis and start rounding out the podcast, if that's okay with you guys.
I'm down to go a little bit later. There's still more juice. Yeah, there's still more juice for this. I
think some of this is kind of beating a dead horse. Yeah, I don't know how we're. I guess the thing is, if we're going to keep talking about it, we should do. Are there any solutions? Is there anything we can actually do about it, or are we just bitching for the sake of bitching? I think that's kind of what it comes down to.
I honestly think that it's a lot more productive and it is a lot more useful for us to have a conversation like this, regardless of what guild we're in the fucking game, than it is to think that, circle jerking each other's egos inside of a BDO partner Discord is going to get actual fucking change done. And
I have a solution.
It's the responsibility of the players to have those conversations. It's not just some of us, all agreeing with each other for the siege changes that we want to see because, we're all in the fucking same fucking siege guild. It's actually having serious discussion and presenting that as the catalyst for more potential change in the community. It doesn't matter what the title of the group is. So,
I have a solution. I do have a solution, and maybe this can round it off and we can move on for now. And we can always come back to some juice, Joe, if you got more feelings.
I'm good. I refuse to. Yeah, I just refuse to be a part of a program where a mob can have more impact than
intellectual conversation.
Exactly. It just makes no fucking sense. And it doesn't do me any good, but I'm not a part
That's
of it.
why I don't vote. Hell yeah.
Yikes. He's always right.
On, man.
He's always right. Don't forget.
That shit I'm supposed to say. That's my job. You're stealing my content.
Yikes.
Here's the solution, right? To make this entire grandstanding and beating dead horses or whatever you want to call it in a negative light, we need another CM Richter. We need them to hire or promote one of their fucking minions to actually infiltrate the community once again, talk with us, have a Twitch account, and then maybe somebody should strap Emre to a chair and force him to understand these mechanics a little bit in the game that he's representing, because he goes on these official streams and says, I don't know about any of this, right? I'm just here to look cute with his little glasses. I like Emre. I do. I really like him. But he does some embarrassing shit on our behalf. And so somebody needs to strap him in a chair and force him to play this fucking game, at least a tenth as much as Enlave has, or listen to him. And we need another Richter. That's the solution. That's what we need.
I don't think the company's structured in a way where we're even going to benefit from that, because none of the guys that we're talking to really have any power to do the things that we want them to do. And that's why none of them will take accountability for anything. Like back when all the Black Star enhancing, all the like the RMTing and like the pin distortions and all the speed hacking and all that shit was going on, I was DMing certain people in Kakao because I didn't want to blow all this up in the partner Discord. So I was DMing certain people from Kakao who I thought might be able to help with it, and they all were like, well, I don't want to get within 100 fucking miles of that. Like, you gotta go talk to Rotaz. That's what everyone said. Like, I can't do anything about that. You have to talk to Rotaz. I'm like, so can you tell Rotaz what I just told you? No, I can't even convey your message. You have to directly PM Rotaz, and then hopefully he'll say something, or he'll do something about it.
That's a fucking brick wall. Rotaz is a goddamn brick wall.
That's the thing, man. I feel like there's been so many controversies and like false bans and like just shitty like situations that have been handled in the past in this game. No one that works for Kakao wants to touch anything that has any scandal or controversy on it. And as a result, anytime some difficult conversation needs to be had, they're just going to be silent. They're not going to, why would they risk it? They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to be the guy who gets, called out on Reddit. Like, they just want to be quiet and wait for the thing to blow over.
You're still afraid of the chimney sweeping thing. That's the god honest truth.
I just think that, honestly, I think that Kakao's done a great job for North America, for the structure of their fucking company, but that's not good enough for the North American players. And I think that North American players should start becoming a lot more aware and actively calling for Prolibis to self-publish this fucking game and to establish a system that involves players in positions of power so that they can handle the shit that's been fucked up by Kakao when it occurs again in the future. Learn from the nonsense that's happened in Kakao so that Prolibis doesn't have to.
And to wrap what Joe just set up is, Joe did that whole dissertation in the beginning to that's his resume, right, as a content creator. And so what Kakao Games is doing isn't even on par with what other games are doing as publishing, whether it's self-published or not. It's not even on par. And that's why a lot of us and a lot more people are upset is we literally deserve better. That's
the truth. That's the truth. And it's not just me as a content creator. It's every content creator. It's not, I can throw cloud around. I can throw years of fucking shit around.
It's not content creators. It's players.
Exactly. Yes. It's more so than content creators.
I'm upset as a player when I'm talking that partner Discord. Content creator, whatever. I deal with whatever the fuck comes at me, right? But maybe content creators are upset too. But I'm a player that made a thing out of this, and I want to be heard as a player. I don't give a shit about my clout. But so let's fuck you, Joe. Fuck you, Joe.
Let's be honest, bro.
fuck Joe and all your chats.
All right. Well, with that, let's move on to Last Oasis. Let's move on to Last Oasis.
These shirts are drying. It's not clout. Yeah. They're drying.
So let's start off with Last Oasis. We don't have much time for it, but so last week we played on Tuesday.
Yeah, 20 minutes or so.
We had some good PvP. What were your thoughts? How have you been enjoying it?
Dude, we learned a lot.
I want to start by apologizing for being overly toxic to the people that we smashed.
I appreciate that.
Tim just went 0 to 100. It's like he had all this pent up PvP rage that had been boiling since Darkfall, and he just had to unleash it on the first people that we found on that hard tile.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in.
Dude, I clapped it. They were pretending to be like some fucking new players or something, and I'm like, you're just styling on this kid. And so it's not my real microphone that gets put through Last Oasis. God. It's this shitty, weird fucking
Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, and so I'm talking shit with my microphone like this. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. You're dog shit, kid. You're dog shit, right? It's literally inside my mouth. And Merlin's like, hey, I got you in this clan. Maybe you should just like not represent us like this real quick. And I'm like, oh shit.
He's in fucking world chat. Sub to me, Tim Allen. Sub to me. Tim Allen 137.
We're also broadcasting our stream so we can get sniped by the people we just griefed. Way to go.
Self-doxing us, dude.
Out of all the things you thought would be the worst parts of collaborating with me, that's pretty mild, okay? Right? So I stepped out of line a little bit. It was 4 hours of hitting rocks to make rocks so we could hit trees or whatever. And then, I had an erection the size of my forearm for PvP. Right. And so we finally got some and it came out. Excuse me for enjoying my PvP.
Yeah. Realistically, I think that was such an awesome experience because we got together second week. We had a game plan for what we wanted to do. And not only did we execute the plan, we found PvP. We took their gear. We took their fucking shit. And then we learned why and how we should approach the next week. Because we took metal weapons, we took badass armors and shit and items, and we stayed too long, and they had reinforcements show up, and we got wiped, dude.
On the double.
Moreland was the only guy who got gear out of that, right?
I got some good loot. Yeah, I got out.
Yeah, dude. You had that bone sword, the two-handed bone sword?
No, I
looted some nice tools off of that one guy.
Oh,
that was the that was the good haul. Yeah.
Dude, I got a two-handed metal weapon, and I was just like, I got something, and I didn't know what the hell to do, and then I died, and I was like, oh fuck.
They had all this advanced shit I'd never even seen. They're like, we just started last week, and I'm like, this is my first PvP experience. You're all dying. You're dog shit. I had a great time. Jesus Christ.
They said they started last week, and they're the biggest base I've ever seen in the game. It's like, this guy did not start last week, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna have to piss test them to figure out if that was true.
Potion, how much fun have you been having?
A couple of the guys were new, but the base was definitely not built by someone who was new. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been playing
You've been living there, right?
Nonstop. Yeah. Well, my sleep cycle's been messed up, so my normal stream time is like around midnight US time to like early morning, right? Maybe afternoon occasionally. But I've been sleeping the opposite of that. So in my infinite amount of free time this week, I've been playing lots of Last Oasis. And I'm trying to get it set up pretty well for this week. So this week we can just go in as PvP like a couple times in a row and just have a blast doing that.
You're the man, dude. Oh my god, you're the man.
So I should get us like more respawns, more armor, and like a lot more stuff. That'll be good. So it should be fun.
That's awesome.
Looking forward to this Tuesday a lot. Currently 45. I'm thinking about pushing it a little bit intentionally, but I haven't yet.
Is there?
Sorry, go ahead.
Is there a max level?
60. Yeah, and then you can prestige on 60 over and over again with no benefit right now.
Weird.
But they made some changes this week for Last Oasis. They made it where the little grapple hook thing that's on the walkers, right? They made that 1,000 HP now, so those aren't going to get like insta destroyed. So now we can actually like get back on our walker super easy without having to worry about that as much.
So I don't know if I like that change, but yeah.
I think the change. I think
a better change would have been to make it soft so that you couldn't kill it with beat sticks. Like you had to use actual weapons. But
yeah.
And we had some team changes, Moreland, right? Because we all had to.
Yeah, so one of the things they did is they changed the penalties for having too many people from your clan on one tile. Have you experienced that yet, Potion? Have you gotten into the new clan?
I did, but I didn't notice anything severe off it.
Because I was talking about that during the week when we were playing Last Oasis. Because right now there's this really dumb meta where you can only have 100 people on a tile. And so what clans will do whenever there's an important objective is they'll literally just send 100 people to a tile like 30 minutes before the objective starts, and then other clans can't go there to fight over it. So you just cap it out and everyone else gets stuck in the queue. And so one of the solutions to that is to make it so that if you have too many people on that tile, you drink more water and you use more water to respawn. But the penalty, like people were just bringing thousands of water and ignoring the penalties. So they said in the patch notes they increased the penalty, but I don't know if they actually increased it enough to keep people from capping tiles
so
out.
So they did a couple different things. They adjusted like the amount of water that you can hold on some of the bigger boats, so you can't hold as much. So then you have to put more like extra items that can be destroyed in the middle of the fight, right? And once you're in a fight, you can't respawn on the walkers easily, right? So that's one of the things they did. They increased the water penalty. I think it's definitely in the right direction. I think the biggest thing for that's left probably for the big stuff is probably the ballista bug that's going on. I think like that's probably the biggest thing a lot of people want fixed.
What's the bug?
Right now, if a ballista hits you and it hits the ground behind you, it'll hit you basically like multiple times. So it'll hit you like once when it hits you, and then if it lands behind you and the bullet is still touching you, you'll get like double, triple, quadruple damage done to you. So you'll just get one shot out of it.
Yeah, it has like an active hitbox on the ground. You can even run over it, and it like hits you like a landmine.
It's like a mine,
yeah. It's kind of weird. I'm surprised they haven't fixed that yet. Yeah. I'm sure they will though. Like they've got.
They also buffed walker legs, so they have more health now. So it's harder to knock down a walker. So you get to run around a little bit more, which I think is good. More time, running around on walking walkers and stuff, chasing people down. I think it's overall good.
You don't want to just give it away.
Yeah, they didn't say how much they increased the water penalty by in the patch notes. I was looking at that, but I didn't see the exact amount. I think it's probably. I think even if they make it more water, I think they're going to have to go to more of a hard cap for some tiles. That way, smaller people of like 25 clan can just have like hard cap and it'd be like BDO, right? Where you can have a hard cap of 100 people, right? And I think they might need to do that for a few tiles to really fix the problem overall. Because otherwise, if you make it where it's a clan cap of 25 and it costs more water, then people might just do 2 clans, right? Or they might do 3 clans or 4 clans and just keep on splitting it if you keep on being more and more harsh like that, right? So it won't solve the problem unless I think they do more of a hard cap type scenario.
Couldn't they just do the same thing with a hard cap though, just split into multiple guilds?
Well, the idea is that you would have like a dedicated amount that can be on offense and dedicated amount that be on defense. And so you'd have like we're declaring sort of like BDO, you have to put down your peg and you're declaring intent. And then that can kind of, you can kind of know ahead of time what's going to be and regulate things based on that. It can still be abused, of course, like in BDO. But I think that would be closer to what they need to do rather than, at least for some tiles, maybe not all, but for some tiles. I don't know, really. It's hard. I think that I don't know if there's an easy solution to it.
Do you think 100 is enough? Do you think 100 is enough?
I don't think they can have more than 100 people on a tile, like just performance-wise.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they can optimize the game to make that, because even in fights where there's like 50 or 60 people on the screen, I mean, you're running around with like 15 FPS. You're trying to block shit. You get stutters. You're blocking the wrong way. It can get pretty janky. So I don't know if they can be shoving more people on the screen.
Okay. Universally speaking, we have that problem with PvP games in general, right? So it's not like we just can't stop. You can't stop.
Yeah. I haven't seen more than like 20, 25 people in one battle yet, so it's like
I have a video. I'm going to see if I can get it on YouTube. It's just like raw footage of a battle we had yesterday. It was like we had like 3 massive walkers. We went over a hill, then there was another big walker on that side, and they flipped us completely over. And then we were just like had this big battle of like 25 versus 25 just running at each other, respawning, and a whole shebang, man. It was a blast.
Honestly. Yeah, by the way, I've got like scar tissue from BDO and all this large scale stuff, right? Where it's having these smaller scale fights are way better.
Yeah. They're a lot more manageable, like psychologically, you can actually kind of wrap your head around what's going on.
I want to point out one thing real quick. I sent Joe a DM earlier, seeing how many times he could reference a Red Hot Chili Peppers song without being detected from other people. And I just did about 6 or 7. right there in this last like 2 minutes without being detected. So
It's good.
Yeah, now everybody's gonna go back and watch the podcast all over again and count.
just the last 5 minutes.
I wanted to concentrate on seasons and the juice, and I was like, I don't even want to think about this shit this week. But I think that's the.
By the way, I have scar tissue. Come on, man.
Listen, bro. Okay, I know that you're doing it. All right, I know.
I would have never ever made that
I'm like,
connection.
you motherfucker, dude. You're just dumping it. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense, man. That one just slid right under the bridge, bro.
Yeah, but I think
I'm
that's about
sorry.
it for Last Oasis. There's a few other things that balance like modules and this general game balance, but nothing that was like significant towards the in-game PvP that I noticed.
It's been so long since I've been wrapped up into a game this hard. I'm not doing Red Hot Chili Peppers anymore. It's been so hard since I've been wrapped up into a game this hard. I can't believe. Is there any other games that we're actually even really looking at, or is this like really just kind of enveloped all of us? Is there anything around the horizon that we're excited about? Are we kind of over New Worlds? I'm kind of interested just to see how it releases, even in pre-alpha or whatever.
I'm more excited about New World because of Last Oasis. I was completely off to the idea of Last Oasis and New World because of the survival genre, and this completely changed my mind on it altogether.
I don't think New World's going to be a survival game at all. They're completely changing like all the. What is that? Is that just a list of Red Hot Chili Pepper songs?
RHCP.
You weren't even doing it off the top of your head. That's cheating.
Yeah, it's fucking.
He was supposed to be the Red Hot Chili. Half his streams are him going.
Place, okay? There's a time and a place.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not excited for New World. I think they're going to change it like 20 more times before it comes out. It's probably going to get pushed back again. Who knows what the game's even going to be at this point?
I think right now they have a good like rough idea. Like I like the idea of wars, I like the idea of the housing and like going out and doing some of the battles and stuff, but I don't think they have enough of the meat of what you're going to do with the majority of your time, right? I feel like that I think the war thing is a really good idea for like that 5-10% of your afternoon, right? You do that once every once in a while, right? But why are you going to do the majority of your time in the game? Like I don't think they have a good answer for that right now, and I think because of that, I do hope they delay it more so that they can come out with better content for it long term.
Do you guys ever pine for the simplicity of an FPS? Does that ever scratch an itch for you? Do you ever just like pick
a little
up?
bit?
Do you?
That's why
That's the HOTS sometimes.
Yeah,
You play HOTS?
Yeah, I go back to like just playing a good old MOBA.
No shit.
That's my favorite one of all the ones that came out. That's my favorite one actually.
Dude, God of War has been lit, dude. God of War.
You've been playing God of War, right?
God, dude, it's tickling me in the right way.
If you guys don't follow Joe on Twitter, you should 100% see his Kratos. Fucking was that really Gamnadian's idea? He took credit.
He forced me to do it. Yeah, he forced me.
Oh, bless you. That was powerful.
Wow, that was a big sneeze for such a little guy.
They always are. Powerful notes.
Once we figure out how to capture Moreland's sneezes in electricity form, we'll be able to power cities for a while.
We'll discover warp drive.
Just be happy that I'm muted.
Dude, God of War. I wish I played.
Speaking of going back to simplicity, I mentioned this at the beginning, but I'm probably going to be streaming some Ultima Online PvP.
I'm gonna watch
If anyone's interested in that, I got some old friends that I'm going to be playing with. Hopefully later today. I don't know if that's going to be before or after Siege. I'll have to find out after the podcast. But if you guys want some glory days shit, to see what the real boomer PvP was like.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
dude, I've heard like everyone that I know that I respect in the MMO industry that has come from like a place where I want to go in gaming, they've played Ultima, and I just picked their brains and asked. I picked your brain about Ultima at fucking TwitchCon.
Best game ever made, man.
It's wild.
Game ever made.
It's wild. It's very cool. I'm excited to watch.
All right, do we have anything else, or we want to wrap it up?
My simplicity is I really enjoyed. Yeah, we're wrapping it up, but I really enjoy playing COD on Fridays, and I think that's a really good thing. Is for everybody that gets wrapped up into BDO or whatever we're all doing, is every once in a while just go back to play a new game that came out that's a single player that's easy, or not easy, but kind of easy to take in and just enjoy, like God of War. Go back to your roots, Ultima Online or HOTS. For me, it's just playing a Call of Duty, or maybe fuck around with some Valorant, or something stupid, but. The enjoyment that you get out of that when you're just grinding is huge. So I
My
just
game
maybe
I
a
go
little
to
PSA.
is Don't Starve. Don't Starve. That's the one I like.
Really?
Yep.
That-
It's just a simple indie
That's
game.
that's not a simple game to me, dude. I get my ass kicked in that game. I gotta
Bro,
like
Yeah.
have
I
a
love
second
it.
monitor with all the recipes. I'm like, shit. How do I cook
All
more
right,
food?
maybe it's not simple, but that's my go-to game when I just want to break from the grind. You know, I just want to relax a little bit. I love it.
You know what was a good break from the grind? That's kind of gone.
TFT.
Shadow Arena. No,
Shadow-
No, I was about to
TFT
bring
as
up.
well,
I was about to say that, dude.
Dude, I tried
So-
to play TFT the other day, and it's like all Space Rangers now. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's on your phone too, and you want to talk about a game you need to have recipes for. Holy shit! If you
Yeah,
don't
I'm
have
like-
that master thing,
That got way too sweaty for me. But yeah, Shadow Arena was going to be like a great, just break, play for an hour or two sort of game. But the
Mhm.
latest version of it has been struggling.
I downloaded it and I played one game, and I need to play more before I can get my actual feedback.
The
I haven't had-
population right now is a lot lower than it was in final beta. They've got some
Oh, yeah.
networking issues that they need to work out. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I'm going back to, I'm playing Shadow Arena after Siege tonight. I want to get back into it more, even though there is a little bit of a desyncy issue. Just Saturday night, I like to
It's
drink a
fun.
little bit,
Yeah,
and I like to play Schultz, grab people and go, "Ah!" And kill them and stuff like that. There's so much potential there, and I don't want even if there's a little bit lower of a population or the servers aren't perfect, I still want to stay prime on that in case they have another tournament when the servers get better. It's just fun, like late night PvP for me. Just easy, drop in, grab it, maybe get a little RNG, but style on kids, right? Before I engage on somebody, I know if I can kill them, and it's really fun content for me and my stream. I played off stream, but on stream it's fucking great.
I want to play more. I want to play more. That's all I can say.
So that's on my docket for today. Have fun in UO.
Thanks.
Tim,
I'm
I'm
jealous.
just letting you know right now, I'm going to watch Moreland over you. I'm just letting you know that, okay?
Weird. I think I'm busy Monday.
I bet you are.
All
Colson,
right,
what are you doing Monday?
Monday. Probably sleeping.
Yeah, he's busy.
You were gonna
Tim,
say
okay?
that.
You can't
Last
hold it over my
Oasis.
head, bro.
Last
All right,
Oasis.
I'll take us out. So make sure you guys catch us on Tuesday. We do a squad stream of Last Oasis. It's ridiculous, and sometimes a couple of us get too toxic. But it's nice to see
Involved.
we're all here for each other, right? My chat's here for me, your chat's here for you, all that kind of stuff. So support us in watching us have actual fun instead of just losing our minds playing BDO. My name is Tim Allen 1337. Please catch me on Twitter. Please follow me on Twitch. And please don't hate me. Moreland, what do you got going on? Where can people find you?
Moreland TV on everything.
Twitch. Find me on Twitch, YouTube, and check out our podcast on Spotify. You like it?
Yo, what up, dudes? My name is Joe Never Fails. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Joe Never Fails, Twitter at Joe Never Fails, Insta Joe Never Fails.